We start as we mean to go on. What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another live watch-along. It's been a while. It's been a while. Looking forward to this. Should be a really good game of football between City and United in the Community Shield at Wembley, in what, if it's not a sellout, it's pretty close to a sellout, so in front of 90,000 fans down in North London for this game. Should be a really good game of football. And to be honest, it's a really good way to build up to the start of the season as well, because it means that we've had tremendous success from last season. It's the Premier League champions in Manchester City taking on the champions of the FA Cup in Manchester United. And let's not forget, the last time that Manchester City played competitively was at Wembley Stadium against Manchester United in the FA Cup final, which Manchester United won that day. Kept Erik Ten Hag in a job, and now we've got the Community Shield online before we have build up to the new 2024-2025 Premier League season, with Manchester City starting next Sunday in our match against Chelsea, as we bid to continue making history in being the first side to try and win 5 Premier League trophies in a row. Now, Man City, Community Shield today, don't have a great track record, but you look at the previous 4 seasons, all the teams that won the Community Shield, which featured Manchester City, we didn't win them, but we went on to win the Premier League. So not winning today does have a huge advantage for City, because history's showing, certainly over the last 4 years, that Man City go on to win another Premier League trophy. And that's a mental fact. Now, you want to win every game. We want to beat Manchester United today. We never want to lose to Manchester United. So bragging rights is on the line today, as well as fitness for the players, and a chance here for both Pep Guardiola and Erik Ten Hag to have a really good look at the squad ahead of the season opener for next weekend. I think Manchester United are opening the season on Friday night, so Manchester United, if you look at the lineups, maybe look like they're taking this a little more seriously than Manchester City, but Manchester City have a couple of days extra rest on Manchester United, and also Man City have had players come back a lot later into pre-season, with lots of players still missing for Manchester City, and that's going to be the case now for the next couple of weeks whilst players get back up to scratch with things. And once we start to push from there, I imagine by maybe end of August, certainly into September, you'll start to see all the normal first team regulars. So it's really nice to see some of the young academy lads be given an opportunity today to showcase what they can do. So before I do crack on with this video, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, do subscribe to my channel. As you can see, we're now less than 800 subs away from my goal of 38,000 subscribers, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Excuse me, beer's already catching up with me. But yeah, don't forget to subscribe. Social media links, they're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up. You know the rules. 100 likes. Already making good strides towards that. On to 23 likes. Now, what, 77 likes away from 100 likes. So any help towards that would be great. And do get your thoughts as well in the live chat. I've got a poll in there. Who do you think is going to win this game between City and United? 89% of you going for Manchester City to lift the trophy today. 11% going with Manchester United. I don't think there is extra time. So if it is level after 90 minutes, this will go straight to a penalty shootout. Heading to the chat, I can see that we've got Nadir in on the chat. Says, big game for Nico O'Reilly. If he doesn't play well, he can see Man City dipping into the market and signing a CDM, a central defensive midfielder. And I think Nadir's absolutely spot on. This is the game, because this showcases now, is Nico O'Reilly at the standard and the level that we're looking for? It's great impressing on pre-season. It's brilliant. It's good to see. But competitively, can you compete against the very best? If you can, then great, you're good to go. If not, then Man City have got 3 weeks here to sort out their squad and bring in a signing or two. Nick, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Big up to you, going for a 3-0 score prediction today. I presume for Manchester City there. Says he likes the lineup. Kevin, thanks for tuning in. Says City, we are the new force of English football. That's why everybody is trying to gang up against us. Which, Kevin, yeah, Man City are a new force to be reckoned with. We're the current most successful side in the country, so we are the benchmark that everybody's looking to try and play catch up. And if you can't play catch up to it, then you'll try and find other ways of being able to get your daggers in, which is always the case. It's not just isolated this to Manchester City. Numerous examples. Chelsea, not very well liked for the same reason, because the score caused a stir because they were so successful when they got given the money under Roman Abramovich and Jose Mourinho. Vamsy, thanks for tuning in, going for a 2-1 score prediction for Manchester City today. Love that. Thanks for tuning in. Daniel, thanks for tuning in. Says, who is going to be the backup striker for City with Julian Alvarez very close to joining Atletico Madrid right now for £82 million from Manchester City. And I suspect that City will either replace him with a doable transfer, a versatile player who can play central midfield, attacking midfield, left wing and right wing, or Man City may choose to dip into the market, like if Nico O'Reilly doesn't do as well as hoped today, then Man City may look for that number 6, number 8 role instead. Rene, thanks for tuning in, much appreciated. Reckon 6-1 City today. Haaland hat-trick, Foden double as well. Love that, thanks for tuning in. And RTD, thanks for tuning in, much appreciated. Says, can't wait to see James McAtee in action here for Manchester City. Love that, thank you everybody for tuning in. Do get your score predictions in the live chat, and do let me know where you are all tuning in from. Finally, I want to say a big thank you to today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by SofaScore. They're going to keep you guys up to date with all the latest scores across the footballing calendar for the new season. They're also going to keep you up to date with the latest match information, along with all the latest match statistics, my half-time analysis, my full-time analysis, and all the build-up pre-game as well for you guys to enjoy. You can find the link in the description. Alternatively, you can use the QR code on screen. Just scan that with your phone or your tablet device, and that'll take you to the download page to download SofaScore. Or alternatively, you can just press the link in the description. That'll take you to the download page to download the free SofaScore app. It's very highly rated, brilliant app, so do go and check it out. Anyone that does download SofaScore using my link or the QR code on screen does help to support the future content created here on my channel. Thank you very much to SofaScore for sponsoring this video. Much appreciated. Do go and check them out. So, going to head on to the SofaScore app. Get it locked and loaded. We're going to find today's game. Currently got it set on cricket, because that's how I keep up to date with all the latest cricket scores. It does keep you up to date with all the other scores from all the other sports that you guys love to follow. So, we'll just navigate our way down to find the match in England in the Community Shield between Man City and Man United. I'm going to select Man City as a team I think is going to win. So 63% of users who have voted so far, so over 142,000 votes have gone with Manchester City, 63% to win, 27% going with Manchester United. TV channels through SofaScore, so they'll keep you up to date with what channels you can watch the games on from your respective country. Today's game in the UK being broadcast live on ITV, so it is on terrestrial television. Game taking place at Wembley Stadium in London, with referee Jared Gillett from Australia taking charge of this game. So we're going to have a look at the lineups. We're going to start off first with our opponents, Manchester United. So their average age of their squad today is 27.7 years old. They're lining up with a 4-2-3-1 formation led by manager Erik Ten Hag. So they're lining up in goal Andre Onana. Their back four made up of Diogo Dalot, as their right back, with Lisandro Martinez as their left back. I suspect it might be Johnny Evans that maybe goes in at left back, with Martinez complementing Harry Maguire. In midfield, they're going with Casemiro, Kobbie Mainoo, who I'm really surprised to see, considering he was a regular with the England national team right up until the final. So he's had less than a month off of rest, chucked straight in at the deep end here for Manchester United. You'll notice that all the England internationals for Manchester City that went to the European Championships aren't featuring today. That's to give them an extra week's rest to get up to speed. So Mainoo very much being chucked into the deep end. So he must be either incredibly fit or Man United just don't have the options and are taking a little bit of a risk there. It looks like it's going to be Bruno Fernandes starting as the attacking midfielder and captaining Manchester United today. Diallo goes on the right wing. Marcus Rashford starts on the left wing, and they're leading up top, and it's something that's been quite familiar during pre-season for United. It's Mason Mount starting as their striker. On the bench for Manchester United today, you've got Bayindir, Anthony, Collier, Eriksen, Garnacho, McTominay, Pellistri, Sancho, and Xerxes. Xerxes, a new signing for Manchester United. And as the teams were announced today, Man United apparently close to signing Matthias de Ligt from Bayern Munich. They're closing in on a right back from Bayern Munich as well, because you'll notice that Aaron Wan-Bissaka not in the squad today. He's set to join West Ham, I think on a permanent transfer as well. Anyway, that's enough talk about Manchester United. Let's move on to Manchester City, led by manager Pep Guardiola today, lining up with what SofaScore have got down as a 4-3-3 formation. I'll speak more about the formation in just one moment. The average age of City's been brought right down from our FA Cup final squad, which average age was just under 30 years old. Average age of today's squad is 24.4 years old. Manchester City going with quite a few young players. So we're lining up with Ederson in goal, given the nod ahead of Stefan Ortega-Moreno. That is a very big call. Lining up with Rico Lewis on the right wing, with Josko Gvardiol starting on the left wing, with Akanji and Ruben Dias captaining Manchester City today as our two centre-backs. We're lining up with Nico O'Reilly alongside Mateo Kovacic and James McAtee. It looks like it's going to be Oscar Bobb on the right wing, Jeremy Doku on the left wing, and Erling Haaland starting up top for Manchester City. On the bench for City today, you've got Scott Carson, Stefan Ortega-Moreno, Nathan Ake, Bernardo Silva, new signing Savinho brought in from Estac Troyes over in France, who are part of the City football group. He spent last season on loan with Girona and impressed. He's a right winger if you didn't know. We've also got Kevin De Bruyne, Matheus Nunes, Kalvin Phillips and Issa Kabore on the bench as well. Good to see Issa Kabore. He's been getting linked with a move to Tottenham Hotspur and a move to Turkey. Not really spent much of pre-season with Manchester City, but given the nod on the bench to showcase what he can do, because City just haven't got them defensive options. So Issa Kabore is an option there for Manchester City. Kalvin Phillips, I suspect, is going to get 20 or 30 minutes today to try and showcase what he can do. I think it'd be really good if we can get some minutes for some players who haven't really featured over pre-season. So your Nathan Ake's, your Bernardo Silva's, your Nunes's, your Kevin De Bruyne's as well. And I'm really excited to hopefully see Savinho making his Manchester City debut as well. Now, onto the actual team that's starting for City. SofaScore have it down as a 4-3-3. It's not going to be a 4-3-3. Rico Lewis will go into midfield today for Manchester City. So what you're going to see is Nico O'Reilly, I think, and Kovacic drop a little bit deeper. You're going to see Akanji drift more to the right-hand side, Ruben Dias through the middle, and Gvardiol given more freedom on the left-hand side. And then you're going to see McAtee going further forward and supported by Rico Lewis, with Oscar Bobb on the right wing, Jeremy Doku on the left wing, and Erling Haaland starting up top. It could be the other way around on the wings as well. Could well be Jeremy Doku going on the right wing and Oscar Bobb on the left wing. Man City, with their wingers, they like wingers to be able to cover both the right-hand side and the left-hand side. And through us not having, of course, Bernardo Silva and Phil Foden starting today, it's a good chance here to see Jeremy Doku and Oscar Bobb. And as I said, I would like to see Savinho getting some minutes today as well. So that's the two lineups for this game. I'm going to argue and say Man United's team's probably on paper stronger than Man City's due to so much youth presence in the Manchester City team, but that doesn't mean Man City aren't more than capable of going out there, putting in a really high-quality, good performance, winning this game and winning the Community Shield today and setting us up just nicely ahead of a busy 2024-25 campaign. So hopefully it'll be a good game of football. I mean, the most important thing, because let's face it, before the trophy's even been lifted, you can quote me on this, it is a glorified friendly this. It's not a very full competitive game, but it's great preparation ahead of the new season. So hopefully Man City can win. I'm going to lose no sleep if Man City don't lift the Community Shield today. I'm still going to be nice and positive, and I'm going to go 2-1 to Manchester City as my score prediction. So guys, get your score predictions in the live chat, and don't forget as well to let me know where you are tuning in from. Godry, thanks for tuning in. Savinho, I am expecting to be playing at some point today, which would be really good to see. Agung, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Neil, thanks for tuning in as well. Says, looking forward to a great game and a steady win for Manchester City. I'm going 2-1 Manchester City today. I think Man United are going to take the lead. I'm going to go with a goal for... who do I go for? I think I'm going to go with Marcus Rashford for Manchester United in the first half and a couple of second half goals for City to win the trophy. I'm going to go Erling Haaland early in the second half, and then from the bench, I'm going to go Savinho. I'm going to go Savinho to win it for City today. What a way to make your debut. Brian, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, Nunes is pretty much a squad player for City. He has only just come back from pre-season. I know some people have been criticising him, saying he should have come back early from his holiday to tackle pre-season to try and give himself the best possible opportunity for starting for Manchester City. But, you know, if it was me and I was entitled to 4 weeks off work to go on holiday and soak up some sun and enjoy myself, then I probably would take up that opportunity. And he might not have featured as much as what he wants to, but he's having to do all the travelling with the team, all the training for the team. He's having to do all the graft, just not the 90 minutes of running, just the odd few minutes here and there. Would it have been nice to have seen him? Yes. Do I blame him for taking the opportunity to have them holidays? Absolutely not, because I would do the same. Dad, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated, helping to moderate today's chat. So remember, a couple of rules here on the JSGC channel. Firstly, keep things nice and friendly, no spoiling it for others, and also no bad language as well, please, as we do have family tuning in. Refin, thanks for tuning in, going 6-2 Manchester City. Phil Foden with a hat-trick. Everyone's backing Phil Foden to grab some goals. Phil Foden not starting today for Manchester City. Nick reckons, be more optimistic, 3-0. Neil reckons 3-0 as well. It's Wembley's big, massive pitch. They very rarely produce 3-0s, in particular when you've got a couple of organised teams like City and United. Obviously, I'm not going to sit here and say that Man United are in pristine shape and they're a fantastic team, but they are an organised team. You saw that from the FA Cup final. So City, to win today, have to play a very good game. And this Wembley pitch just doesn't often produce classics and loads of goals, and normally very close games, and you've got to be really clinical. So I suspect this might be a game of few opportunities. Both sides will probably be a bit jaded, a bit shaky. So both sides have really got to apply themselves. We'll see if either team get off to a quick start. As I said, it's a bit of a glorified friendly. Everyone just seems happy and smiling. There's no real anxiety or pre-match nerves there from anybody. Everyone just seems to be, well, enjoying themselves. And as I said, best case scenario for City today, we win the Community Shield and we come out injury-free. If we don't win the Community Shield but come out injury-free, then I'm not going to lose any sleep. Injury today is the worst case scenario for any player. So that's what we want to be avoiding, as we do have the teams out in the tunnels ready to make their way onto the pitch for this game, both being led by their managers, City being led by Pep Guardiola and Manchester United being led by manager Erik Ten Hag. I mean, everyone's backing Phil Foden hat-trick, but Phil Foden's not in the squad for Man City today. He's not on the bench either, so Phil Foden's not scoring a hat-trick today, I'm afraid. Be an interesting game of football, this. Don't really know which way it's going to go. Don't really know what's going to happen. Man City are going to be stood in front of their trophy, the Premier League trophy. Man United are going to be stood in front of their trophy. Current holders of the FA Cup stop Manchester City from making history and making it back-to-back FA Cups, which would have been nice. So, I think we're going to have the national anthem. So before we do have the national anthem, do make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, do subscribe. Don't forget social media links. They're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up. That would be much appreciated. Now, 63 likes away from 100 likes. Can we get to 50 before kickoff? Any help towards that would be much appreciated. If you haven't already, please do leave a thumbs up. And also don't forget to leave your thoughts in the live chat, including your score prediction and where everybody is tuning in from today. Finally, I would say a big thank you to today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by SofaScore. Big up SofaScore. Cracking app, free to download. Go and check it out. Must be, blah, blah, blah. Gotta love being live. Would be much appreciated. There we go. We got there. Neil, I'd love to say it is Strongbow. I can see why you're saying it's Strongbow, but it's gold. Thatcher's Gold. One of my favourite ciders. A Somerset cider, actually. Very nice. One of my favourite drinks. So, cheers to that. And hopefully, cheers to Manchester City beating Manchester United today and winning that Community Shield, which some say is a dinner plate. Depends on if Man City win today. Man City win today, it's a dinner plate. If City lose today, it's a major trophy. Didn't you know? As we do have the national anthem. It's not too hot today in the UK. It's going to get quite hot by tomorrow. We're looking at just below 80 degrees Fahrenheit, around 25 degrees in Celsius. But it's very muggy, stuffy and very humid today in the UK. Sun looks like it's out in North London. It's out up here in the northwest of England as well. But plenty of cloud around and a bit of rain around as well. Makes it not ideal conditions, really, for streaming in the JSGC studios, but here we are persevering, so I do apologise if there's any background noise. I've got the fan on right behind me just to help try and keep me cool as well in here, and I've got all the lights and everything that adds to all the heat, so yeah, summer streaming. There you go. I'm not complaining, though. I'd rather have nice weather than, you know, freezing, cold, miserable, wet and windy. Neil, it's a brilliant, brilliant app, isn't it? Verified by Neil, it's not just me saying it. Cracking app, do go and download it, do go and check it out. Links and details there in the description, or you can use the QR code on screen, or the links also in the live chat. How are we looking on them likes? We're 9 likes from 50, guys. Can we get them 9 likes before this game starts? We are not far away from kickoff. National anthems are done. ITV have decided to take a well-timed break just before the start of this game. So do leave a thumbs up. That would be great. Let's see if we can push and hit 50 likes. That would be absolutely brilliant. So it's the Manchester Derby in North London today. City taking on United for bragging rights to get off to the best possible start in the season and getting the first trophy in the bag. Got the Premier League, League Cup, FA Cup, Club World Cup as well to all go at for trophies for Manchester City for the upcoming season. So we will see if we can get the Community Shield in the bag. City just doing a huddle. Remember, City lining up today. Ederson in goal. We're lining up with Rico Lewis, Manuel Akanji, Ruben Dias and Josko Gvardiol. Lining up in midfield with Nico O'Reilly, Mateo Kovacic and also James McAtee. Out wide, you've got Jeremy Doku and Oscar Bobb, with Erling Haaland starting up top, with City led by captain Ruben Dias today. So some useful minutes that for Ruben Dias. Only just come back from his own holiday, ready for pre-season. So I think City will just be treating this as pre-season. So I think a lot of the players on the bench today will be getting plenty of minutes. I mean, I said before, Kalvin Phillips will probably be getting 20 or 30 minutes. They may well be getting one half of football each and rotating heavily at half-time to ensure that City are in the best possible shape that they can be in from not an ideal preparation through the summer with so many international tournaments and holidays and the season all being kind of squeezed in very tightly. But Man City, they'll manage. As we do have kickoff here then for this game at Wembley Stadium. Bruno Fernandes gets us underway with Manchester United attacking from right to left. Manchester United playing in their home shirt, so it's a red shirt, black shorts and black socks. Manchester City in their home shirts today as well, with us playing in sky blue t-shirts, white shorts and white socks. Ball just ping-ponging. We're getting there. I'm rusty as well. Oh, man, here we are. Stu, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Yeah, thank you for asking. We've had a nice summer. It's been a busy summer. Lots of work going on. I don't know if you guys know I'm working full-time whilst also doing this part-time as well. So a lot of hours goes into every single day. For you guys, and of course been doing my daily Manchester City transfer updates, which always keeps me occupied in my weekly series of the transfer show, which has been well received by you guys once more, which is fantastic. So it's been a busy summer, but we've plodded along. So yeah, it's been nice, thank you. I've missed watching Manchester City. I mean, I had to put up with watching England during the European Championships, and on paper, you know, England got to the European Championships final. You think, oh, great success. Unfortunate we didn't win it. But standard of football and approach, Southgate ball, just time out. Terrible. That T stands for terrible now, not time out. And I'm just happy to be watching Manchester City. You go from watching the very best, the creme de la creme, to just watching substandard. It's a big come down in football. Not very enjoyable. So I'm happy to have Manchester City back. I've managed to catch the highlights. All the games in pre-season were happening way too late for me to check out. I mean, the earliest kickoff I think was 10:30 on a weekend. I mean, I probably could have checked that out if I'm being honest. But it's past JSGC's bedtime. I'm getting old now. You know, I'm 9 p.m. I'm in bed, tucked up, ready to sleep. Early starts, early finishes. Oh, it's Lee Carsley, isn't it, that's in charge of England. On an interim basis, I'll give him his chance, see how he does, see how he looked during the Nations League, because, quite frankly, I couldn't care less about the Nations League, and we'll go from there. They keep talking about Pep Guardiola. It's not going to happen. Neil, no burnout for me. I've got a break right for after the end of the transfer window into the international break, where I've got a couple of weeks off. So there'll be no burnout. JSGC's heading over to the USA, to New York City. Checking out the boroughs. Going to dip over to New Jersey. Scratch off a couple of states while I'm over there. Have some nice food. Enjoy some nice weather. Check out a city that I've always wanted to visit. So should be a good trip. Looking forward to that. That's straight on during the international break, so there won't be much content just after the transfer window from me. I'll have a couple of weeks off just to recharge, ready for the new season. So here we are. It's needed. Go from doing a busy season straight into transfer content. There's no rest for the wicked. There's no break. It's all action go. It's all football. I won't have it any other way though. Huge hobby of mine, watching, talking about and enjoying football. Wouldn't have it any other way. Eddie then sends it long, beautiful ball to Rico Lewis. City done really well to keep hold of Ederson this summer. There was plenty of interest coming in from Saudi Arabia. He was keen on that move. Got priced out of it. The Saudi Arabian clubs couldn't afford him. 50-60 million pound. They were saying we're willing to pay 20 to 30. It's half his value. So City said nah. And Eddie said, ugh, I'll stay then. So he is starting in goal. Hopefully he can put in a good performance for City today. Jean, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Is Ruben Dias then taking control of the ball at the back for Manchester City. No opportunities. I mean, we're nearly 5 minutes into this game and nothing has happened as of right now. As we're now 57 likes away from 100 likes. Any help towards that would be great. Do subscribe and do check out today's video sponsor, SofaScore. Links and details there in the description and in the live chat. Crossfield ball comes in. Jeremy Doku gets a touch on his shoulder. And Manchester United can come away with the ball. And it's a terrible touch there from, I think it was from Diallo. And that goes out for a throw into City. And Dial, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Cheering on Manchester City. Love that. Thanks for tuning in, my friend. As we're now 5 likes away from 50 likes. Doing well. Thank you for that, everybody. Much appreciated. Glad you are enjoying the content. Here's Oscar Bobb then. He has gone on the right-hand side and Doku on the left, which is what I thought would happen. Saw Doku a lot on the left-hand side. Didn't have the most impressive of campaigns with Belgium, as Nico O'Reilly does a couple of brilliant step-overs in helping the ball retention there for Manchester City. And he's a real unit, Nico O'Reilly. He's a big lad. Real big lad. How tall is Nico O'Reilly? I mean, he's bigger than Ruben Dias. Or is it the hair that's making him look bigger? He's a big lad, though. He's impressed Pep that much that he's been promoted to the first team squad for the season, as has James McAtee. I think City ummed about last season doing that with McAtee. Here is McAtee, speaking of him, on the ball. He's got very much a physical presence like Jack Grealish. He reminds me a lot of Jack Grealish. Good player, really good player. Got a season of Premier League experience under his belt with Sheffield United last season that's enabled him here to be in the position to challenge around the City first team squad. It's good to see Issa Kabore as well on the bench for City. He did really well with Luton Town, so he's got a season of Premier League experience under his belt. He's pretty versatile, can play centre-back and right-back. I'm quite surprised that City didn't use him more during pre-season or take him on pre-season, but here we are. So I presume he's just been training and working hard and got his way into the squad, which isn't an easy thing to do. So hopefully we'll get to see some minutes from Kabore so he can showcase what he can do. He's been linked with the exit door, but here we are. Here's Rico Lewis. Not with the best of passes, and he passes it straight out of play for a throw into Manchester United. So you are seeing Rico Lewis invert more into midfield for Manchester City from that right-back position. So when City are on the ball, he's in midfield. When they immediately come out of possession, he's dipping back into right-back. Pep Guardiola not very happy with that pass. The coach is not very happy with that pass. The body language of the coaches, because I presume they're all speaking Spanish. I can't understand what they're saying. Looks like they're just saying everything just looked a bit relaxed. Too relaxed. Sloppy. Kobe Mainoo takes a touch. Manuel Akanji come in with high praise from Pep Guardiola as Oscar Bobb bursts forward here for Manchester City. He finds Nico O'Reilly, and a combined pass between him and Erling Haaland nearly created the opening opportunity of the game, but not to be. Manchester United can intercept and bring the ball clear. Stu McAtee was on loan at Sheffield United. He's had a good campaign with Sheffield United and he wants to showcase what he can do, and he's in the City first team squad for the season. He won't be loaned as Marcus Rashford takes a good touch and then can't sort his feet out, and that goes out of play for a throw into City. And you've seen a lot of rust here on the pitch at the moment. A lot of rust. It's to be expected. It'll be the same next weekend. It'll be the same the weekend after. It'll take 3-4 games for teams to really get going, and you start to see teams showing their best. I mean, even with Man City, we were winning games in the beginning parts of last season, but we didn't look particularly that impressive. We didn't start to look much better until the second half of the season. Sometimes it can take months rather than weeks before you start to settle in with new systems and new players. It's the same for everyone, though, as Oscar Bobb plays a pass into Rico Lewis. He wants a corner. He did go down, and Rashford just takes the touch there, which means Manchester City are going to have the first corner of the game. 9 minutes in. We'll see if we've been working on them set pieces. Apparently, City have hired a set piece coach. So we will see if that pays dividends here, with Oscar Bobb stood over the corner for Manchester City. Erling Haaland's forward, Akanji's forward, Diaz is forward, Gvardiol's forward. Oscar Bobb whips one in and nearly puts it onto the top of Gvardiol's head. Headed out of play by United at the near post and out for City's second corner. Akanji, one of the players to get forward there, received very high praise from Pep Guardiola. He said he thought at the European Championships for Switzerland, Akanji was the best centre-back, the best defender. He was very impressive, and I think we're going to see a lot of Akanji this season. He looked really good. Oscar Bobb whips a corner in. Should be dealt with by United at the back post and is. They can get their head onto that and get that half cleared. Rico Lewis should mop this up. Free kick given to Manchester City in the end there. Not too much in that between Diallo and Rico Lewis. Here's Gvardiol then to Ruben Dias. Manuel Akanji has gone on that right-hand side for City. Here's Nico O'Reilly now. Stu says it's good for James McAtee to get real game experience at Sheffield United, knowing getting on the lineup is difficult at a young age, although City are good at allowing our young players some game time. They're good at managing, and they're starting to showcase that just because you head out on loan for a season or two doesn't mean you're not going to get given opportunities in the first team if you do impress. So it's really good to see. I think City were planning to do something similar with Tommy Doyle, but turns out a permanent sale was for the best there, with him joining Wolverhampton Wanderers. And I think if Sheffield United had stayed in the Premier League, I wouldn't have been surprised to have maybe seen them come calling for James McAtee with a second season of Premier League money and asking for him on a permanent deal. But not to be, whereas Tommy Doyle did end up joining Wolves on a permanent transfer for £5 million. City have got a good sell-on fee, got a good loan fee last season for him, and there's a buyback clause as well. So we will see what the future does hold there. Because, of course, season before that, Sheffield United, it was all about Tommy Doyle and McAtee just impressing with each other as Nico O'Reilly. Nico O'Reilly! I said this is the game where he needs to showcase, is he good enough right now at his young, tender age? Gets City a corner. Puts a ball in. Not the best of balls. That's okay. City aren't the best of crossers, so I'm not going to judge on that. His willingness to press and win Man City that corner then was very good from Nico O'Reilly. Very good. Here's Oscar Bobb. He's looking very good as well into the penalty area. Plays a pass. Nico O'Reilly just can't sort his feet out, and Manchester United can make the interception. And who's there to make the interception back? Remember his name, Nico O'Reilly. He's having a brilliant first 12 minutes here in the Community Shield. Is Nico O'Reilly starting next weekend away at Chelsea? Wow. He's looked good. Here's McAtee now for City on the right-hand side, up against Martinez. Puts a cross in. There's nobody there. Too deep, out for a goal kick to Manchester United, which Andre Onana is going to take. I think you're going to find it quite difficult putting balls in. I know you've got 6'4" Erling Haaland to aim at, but unless it's pinpoint to his head, it's a very physical United side. I know Martinez isn't the tallest, but you've got Evans, you've got Maguire, you've got Dalot. These are good players in the air. You're going to struggle unless it's pinpoint accurate to win them challenges in that Manchester United penalty area. Harry Maguire's going to take the goal kick, then go short to Onana. Erling Haaland looking to try and force the issue. I haven't seen too much of Erling Haaland right now. I think United are just trying to man-mark him out the game. Martinez then finds Menu, and there's Akanji making the interception. That'll be a throw into Manchester United as we do hit the 50 like mark now, which is brilliant. We're halfway to 100 likes. So any help towards that would be great. Don't forget to subscribe as well if you're new around here, and do check out today's video sponsor, SofaScore. Links and details, they are in the description. So Martinez takes the throw in. Worked all the way back to goalkeeper Onana. Haaland gets in a little tussle there with Harry Maguire. I think there's just a bit of a coming together. I don't know if the referee's just stopped the play for a head injury or if he's given a foul against Manchester City there. Let's have a look for this coming together. There's nothing malicious in it. I think it's just a coming together, and I think it's a head collision between Haaland and Maguire. It is, yeah. Haaland's forehead and Maguire's chin. So Maguire naturally feels the bigger impact there. But he seems okay, as does Erling Haaland, and both are okay to continue. Harry Maguire is going to look to try and get more minutes for United this season and try and work his way back into the England reckoning, of course. Erling Haaland will be looking to score more goals for Manchester City. Premier League top goal scorer for the last 2 seasons. He'll be looking to make that a hat-trick, as that happened before. I'm sure someone in the chats will let me know. So we're into the 15th minute, 0-0 here at Wembley between City and United. No real opportunities. Been a couple of bright sparks, in particular by City, and it's the young lads that have really impressed. They know that they're playing for their place. They know. Here's Josko Gvardiol. Gives the ball to Ederson. He'll send this long for City into the United half, looking for Doku. Dalot allows the bounce, can get his foot around it and get it clear. Oscar Bobb towers above there. Wanted that header more than Mason Mount there, and it showcased. He wins the header. He wins possession back for City, and City can come forward here now through their defenders, Manuel Akanji, although he does work it back to Ederson. He'll work it to the right. Finds Rico Lewis's head. A little bit too much on that, so Rico Lewis had to take the header rather than, I think Ederson was looking for it to go to his chest. Because of it, ball was wayward from the header, and Manchester United gather up possession. Maguire works it to the left. Here's Argentinian international Lisandro Martinez. Just works it to Johnny Evans. I can't believe Johnny Evans is still going, but here we are. Here's Harry Maguire now. Gives the ball to Johnny Evans once more and just work back to Onana. And City are happy not to press and just back off, as Onana will send this long, looking for Bruno Fernandes. Manchester City can cut it off through a combination of both Akanji and Kovacic. Kovacic does really well to play that pass into midfield there, and Doku goes down. That'll be a free kick. It was Dalot with the challenge on Jeremy Doku, and Man City happy just to play the ball back and gather up possession as Akanji will push Manchester City forward into the United half now. Here is Oscar Bobb. Back to Akanji. United now got everybody sat deep and behind the ball. Don't want to allow City any space. Game's lacking a bit of creativity. I did say that before the game. The Wembley pitch is that big. You may struggle for a bit of creativity. But here's Jeremy Doku. Does really well into the penalty area. Takes on his man to the byline. Cuts it in. And there's just a little bit too much on that. Looking for the pullback. Looking for Nico O'Reilly. Jeremy Doku there. He looked good in the FA Cup final when he came on for Manchester City. Looking to try and showcase. Use his pace to create opportunities for City. And nearly came off for City there. Just lacked the final clinical ball into the box. Here is Jeremy Doku for Manchester City once more. Up against Dalot. Turns. Goes back to Josko Gvardiol. Here's Ruben Dias then. To Doku. Sliding challenge comes in. Dias mops that up, and that's a lovely pass from Gvardiol. Finds McAtee. He goes down under a challenge. Referee plays advantage Manchester City, and City happy to play the advantage because they've got Oscar Bobb in a bit of space here on the right wing. He's got Martinez for a bit of company. A bit of afters from that then. Ball gets threaded forward looking for Oscar Bobb. There's too much on that though, and Johnny Evans will defend that one out for a goal kick to Manchester United. Lovely run that from Jeremy Doku. I think it just goes too tight to the byline, pulling back. Need to be a little bit further down to find the head of Nico O'Reilly, but he puts it further down, and Kobe Mainoo makes the interception. So one of them, you've not taken the touch, you've just gone to the byline, and because of that, you're more likely going to not find the end product that you're looking for. Ah, there you go. See, Stu's on it. Top scorer 3 times. Shearer done it. 93-94, 94-95, 95-96. Did Shearer do 4 consecutive seasons is the question. There aren't many off the top of my head that was ringing any bells of players taking the top scorers. Certainly during the time I've been following City over the last 22 years. So Alan Shearer just before my time. I was born in 1995, so he was breaking goal-scoring charts, Alan Shearer, whilst I'd just been born and before I was born. Here is Ederson. Class player, by the way, Alan Shearer. Fantastic striker. Here's Akanji. Drives forward for Manchester City. Bruno Fernandes not putting any pressure on him, just allowing him just to coast by and play a forward pass. It's poor from Fernandes. Great ball from Akanji, though. Finds James McAtee, and City now can have a bit of possession inside the United half. It's always nice. Here is Kovacic to Bobb. Back to Kovacic. Works it to the right. Rico Lewis with the ball. Nico O'Reilly comes for support. He's got nowhere to go, so he'll just play the ball back to Akanji. Here's Kovacic then. Finds Ruben Dias. Ball to Josko Gvardiol. He'll just play that back across to Ruben Dias. That's a good pass. And here is Rico Lewis coming forward for Manchester City. Have a go yourself, Rico. Have a go yourself. He does have a shot. Haaland tries to hook one back, gets it past the Nana, and United can hack that clear. And Rico Lewis just driving forward. I think maybe he took 1 or 2 touches too many there. I don't think he expected to have as much freedom as what he did. Could maybe have put his foot through that just on the edge of the penalty area when the space had opened up. I think it was Evans that had just backed off, and Kobe Mainoo was allowed enough time just to get back and put Rico Lewis off from having the shot as Oscar Bobb drives forward for Manchester City. Wants a free kick. Manchester United want a free kick. Referee says play on. Rico Lewis then to Kovacic. Plays the ball to Manuel Akanji. Here is Ruben Dias for City now. Plays the ball to Josko Gvardiol. Here's James McAtee. Oh, it's a lovely pivot from McAtee. And here's Kovacic now. Mops that up. It's lovely play this from City. Here's Oscar Bobb. City looking really sharp here first 21 minutes. And as a shot comes in, and do you know, I'm surprised Oscar Bobb doesn't find the target there. He cuts in onto his left foot. Half a yard of space. He has the shot. There's too much on it. And it's into the stands. He gets that on target. That's 1-0 Manchester City. He leaves Lisandro Martinez and Johnny Evans for dead. He just gets too excited and too much on that. Right idea, not quite the execution. Pep Guardiola likes it. Wants a bit of encouragement from the City fans, and that's City's best opportunity of the game so far. 22 minutes in, 0-0. Don't forget, leave a thumbs up. We are aiming for 100 likes now. 48 likes away from 100 likes. Don't forget to subscribe as well if you're new around here, and do go and check out today's video sponsor, SofaScore. Links and details, they are in the description. United send the ball forward, and United want a free kick. Fernandes goes down. Referee says no free kick, but not the greatest of passes forward. Onana will intercept, and Onana now will wait to see if Bruno Fernandes is okay or not as to whether he wants to put the ball out of play to allow him to get some treatment. Seems happy for play to continue, though. There's a surprise. Harry Maguire plays a pass forward. Only as far as Mainoo works it back to Andre Onana. City not pressing the goalkeeper. He's got 3 options in front of him, including Martinez. Excuse me. Here is Martinez. Finds Maguire. He plays a pivot in looking for Casemiro. Flicked forward by Dalot. Here's Diallo. Works it back to Maguire. JP, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated, my friend. Do hope you are well. Here's Martinez. He's going to give that away just about. So Oscar Bobb pressed him, nearly forced the mistake, and Martinez on the second chance manages to preoccupy that as Bobb finds a pass into McAtee. He hits the post. Oh, it's desperately unlucky from the City youngster James McAtee. Really unlucky. Oscar Bobb is cooking, as Nadir says. He's playing really well. Nearly got himself an assist, and McAtee goes close. Closest we've got in the game so far. It's been all Man City here first 24 minutes. City have looked sharp. They've looked good. JP, I'm very well, my friend. How are you? Here is Manuel Akanji. Works the ball to Ruben Dias. And this is all through City's hard work from their pressing. That's a lovely ball. Doku takes the touch. In the penalty area, goes for the shot, and Maguire does well. Makes the block, makes the interception. Casemiro's under pressure from McAtee. Referee doesn't like it and gives a free kick against McAtee on Casemiro. McAtee just shakes his head. It's a free kick, nothing more. I'm not too sure what Casemiro's moaning about. Here we are. So it was a poor giveaway from Martinez. Oscar Bobb's all over that. Plays a pass into McAtee under pressure from Johnny Evans. Just uses Evans' leg to bend it around Onana's stretched arm. Close. It's not even the outside of the post. It's smacking the centre of the post. I reckon maybe 6 inches to the inside. I think that is the inside of the post and goes in. Desperately unlucky from McAtee. Desperately unlucky from Manchester City. Remains 0-0 here at Wembley as we're more than halfway through the first half. JP, I'm going 2-1 City today. It's been all City at the moment. We've not capitalised upon that though. United look rusty. Really rusty. City not looking as rusty. That might just be due to Man United taking their opportunity here to put some players in who have been at the European Championships and the Copa America and taking their opportunity to try and get them up to scratch as quickly as possible for the season. Whereas Man City have had these players, as quite a few young players featuring, and they're featuring because Man City want these players to be featuring as regularly as possible because they are the sharpest and fittest of the players right now. So your Oscar Bobbs, your Nico O'Reillys, to me, they're in contention to start next weekend at Stamford Bridge in the Premier League because they look fresher and sharper than players who have only just come back from holiday in the last week. Thank you very much, JP. It's a very nice chair, very comfortable. It's a very smart chair as Erling Haaland can't find the pass. Casemiro will play Manchester United out from the back. Marcus Rashford sends a ball forward, long. Fernandes gets his foot onto it. Tries to play the pass looking for Diallo. Doesn't work. Gvardiol intercepts and Ederson will just clear City's lines and City will get everybody inside their own half just to regroup and find their shape and order here. Here's Johnny Evans. Finds Martinez. Here's Menu. Nadir, thoughts on O'Reilly? Look very impressive. He's looked very good. I'm hoping at some point United will have a pop at us so I can see defensively how he is under pressure. This Wembley pitch is a very big pitch, so he's very comfortable with the ball at his feet. Good with his pivot, good getting forwards, good with his interception, his timing and his reading of the games. Also very good. He looks like a very mature player for a player so young. Looks like a bit of a gem. I don't want to overrate him at so early in his career, though. I don't want to say he's the next big thing and, give him all these minutes and be very overreactionary. It needs game time. It needs balance. It needs development. When given the opportunity, you've got to grab it with both hands. That's how it is at City, and that's what Nico O'Reilly's doing. James McAtee's doing a good job, and Oscar Bobb as well. Here is Nico O'Reilly coming forward. Did well, but just trips over, and Bruno Fernandes can come forward. Here's Marcus Rashford on the left-hand side for United. Finds Casemiro. Words by Diallo to Diallo. Into the penalty area. He has a shot. And it's United's first sight on goal, really, that. From Diallo. On his left foot. Drags it wide. JP. Kalvin Phillips will get minutes. I'm not sure if he'll come on for the second half, and City will do a bit of rotation, 3-4 players in at half time to try and get some minutes into the legs of players. Or I can see Kalvin Phillips getting 20 or 30 minutes minimum here. And again, just like you see him with Oscar Bobb and Nico O'Reilly, Kalvin Phillips has got to grab that opportunity with both hands as well. So there's precious minutes, there's positions in the squad, there's positions to start for next weekend in the game against Chelsea. There's so much on the line. You can tell. That's why City look really sharp. Players are trying to impress. you're coasting this game. It'll be very noticeable with the amount of effort that's going in. It's them young players. It's McAtee. It's Nico O'Reilly. It's Oscar Bobb. It's where the work rate is. It's where the problems for Man United are coming from. These young players, the non-stop. They want to make an impact. They want to send the statement out there. They want to say to Pep Guardiola, you're not loaning me out. You're going to use me in the first team squad. And whilst you're at it, you're going to put me in the starting 11 as well because I am good enough. I'm motivated enough. And I want this. We already know this from Rico Lewis in getting rid of João Cancelo. Rico Lewis's attitude was that I want minutes, I want starts, I've got the quality, I'm prepared to be patient, I want to learn, I want to listen to the best coaches in the world, and I want to improve. Cancelo was, I want to start, I deserve to start, I'm João Cancelo. City don't work like that, Pep don't work like that. It's not all about egos. You aren't guaranteed a start, no one's guaranteed a start at Manchester City. You're looking at Europeans' very best. England's very best. You want to start for Man City, you earn your way there. Very promising. It's very good. Doku just tries to find a pass looking for Erling Haaland. Good defending that by United. Well read to find the clearance. Here's Jeremy Doku. Lovely show of strength. A good interception from Dalot, Dalot, not only to not foul Jeremy Doku, but to find the interception through stepping in front. Creates an opportunity for United actually into the penalty area, and it gets threaded through, and it's knife through butter here, and the end product from United just wasn't there. Going back to that rustiness from United. Just gets squared across from Diallo looking for Mason Mount. Mason Mount doesn't read it. And because he doesn't read it, he doesn't have a tap-in. And there's your problem, I think, with not having an out-and-out striker. That's exactly where I'd expect to find a striker in them important moments. Right in front of goal. Cutback comes in. You tap it in. 1-0. Not there. As it is, 0-0. Man United's best opportunity, that. JP can't watch the game in Germany. Terrestrial television here in the UK. So very unfortunate not being able to watch the game in Germany. Here is Onana gives the ball to Johnny Evans. Harry Maguire through 32 minutes here. 0-0. Don't forget, leave a thumbs up. Now, 46 likes away from 100 likes. Don't forget to subscribe as well if you're new around here. And do check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by SofaScore. Links and details there in the description. Gvardiol does a good interception for City. Has his shirt pulled, and referee wants to bring it back and give Man City a free kick from the foul from Diallo. Just a slight hesitancy from Mason Mount stops him from having a tap in there. Not the best of cutbacks either, but it's where I'd expect the striker to be in that. 1 yard of Mount hesitating stops him from having a tap in. JP, why I'm here. You know, we can watch the games together and give all of my thoughts and everything. But if you're not able to watch the game, then of course I do a lot of my commentary and stuff to keep you guys up to date. So I do hope you're enjoying the game so far. Through 33 minutes, got 12 minutes remaining of the first half. Here's Casemiro. United just starting to grow into this game now. Here's Marcus Rashford. Gives the ball to Bruno Fernandes, and he has a shot, and Ruben Dias wins the header, and spilled by Ederson, and Ruben Dias wanted to go down. He's hurt himself there through making that block. Does he make the block with his head? The answer is yes. I think he just lost his balance and he wanted to go down, so he just said, wait a minute, wait a minute. Seems okay. Thank you, JP. Much appreciated. I'm glad you enjoy them. What's everyone's thoughts on Man City's font on the back of the kit? It's weird. Not for me. Anyway, drop ball. Ederson will have the ball for Manchester City. Here's Josko Gvardiol now. Gives the ball to Ruben Dias. Gvardiol once more. So Jack Grealish not in the squad today. Injured. Picked up a knock yesterday. He was meant to be starting this game. He's looked good during pre-season as well. So very unfortunate. Can't really catch a break at the moment, Jack Grealish. Misses out on the England squad. Works hard during pre-season. Looks sharp. He looks good. Ready to... He's got a point to prove. And then gets back to England and gets a little knock. Hopefully he'll be okay for next weekend. So Jeremy Doku given the nod for Man City today instead. Here is Diallo coming forward for Manchester United. Finds Dalot. To Bruno Fernandes. Casemiro, Menu gets laid off and Casemiro finds Rashford and can't wrap his foot around it and that goes out of play for a goal kick to Manchester City. Looked offside there, Rashford. I'd like to have a second look at this. Looking across the line. No, he's perfectly onside. It's an opportunity. It's just a poor finish from Marcus Rashford. JP, do I reckon we're buying a backup for Haaland? Possibly, as Pep says, quite possibly. It depends if the right player's out there and how much money Man City are willing to spend on that player and what kind of player you're looking for. I think Man City will be having a good look between now and the close of the transfer window. There's options out there. Problem is, other clubs are having a look at these players that City might be interested in, so you start to miss out on these players. You know, your Pedro Netos going to Chelsea. Dani Olmo already gone to Barcelona, so these options get eliminated off the list, so it doesn't leave you with many options out there. And, you know, if Eze ends up going from Palace to another club and someone activates his release clause, all of a sudden, Man City, I don't think, have that many options that City may choose to try and stick with what they've got, which is why I think they're giving so many young players the opportunity here to showcase what they can do, that they can kind of not feel the impact as much and have a bigger squad through these young players. As a poor pass from Gvardiol was intercepted by Manchester United. In the end, doesn't materialise to anything, and it'll be a goal kick to Manchester City with 7 minutes plus whatever's to be added on here in the first half remaining. Ederson to take this goal kick for Manchester City. As I said, last 7 minutes or so, Man United have started to grow into this game and creating opportunities and looking a little sharper than what City did. City first 20 minutes looked pretty good, pretty scrappy from 20 to 30 minutes, and United from 30 minutes through to now have looked the better side, is how this first half panned so far. But neither side have been clinical. Both sides have had a bit of rustiness to their game. Can there be a goal? Can we see that goal before half-time? City just work the ball back to Ederson. Love that, Andy. Thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Tuning in from Kirkby Moorside, sorry. Much appreciated. Thanks for tuning in. I'm very good, thank you. How are you? And how's Alison as well? Here is Rico Lewis. Gives the ball to Ederson. Here's Ruben Dias. Working the ball around here. United have just stepped forward a good 10 yards there. They smell blood. That's a good cut-off from Erling Haaland. Does really well dropping deep there. And Nico O'Reilly has to come forward. He's looking for a bit of possession. Gets a interception from Casemiro out for a throw into City. JP, brilliant. Absolutely loved it. Berlin was fantastic. Watching some of the European Championships in Hamburg was brilliant. Hamburg was a great city. It was a really good trip. Short but sweet. Very good. Really enjoyed it. Always love a good trip to Germany. Never disappoints. Andy says, Alisson down in York, working hard. And he's about to depart for York, then heading home. Love it. Love to see it. So it's been a hard-working summer, hasn't it? I've been hard at work as well, as James McAtee finds Jeremy Doku inside the United penalty area. He's been forced back here by Diallo. So City have to go backwards. United taking that opportunity just to try and push everyone a little bit further forward and force City to retreat. As Ruben Dias finds Jeremy Doku here. Here's James McAtee on the left wing, right by the touchline. Finds Rico Lewis. He tries to cut a ball across looking for Nico O'Reilly or Erling Haaland, both in the penalty area. That's what I've really enjoyed about Nico O'Reilly. Defended deep, defended well, but when he's wanted to get forward and attack, he's been there and he's been an option. And as I said, he is a physical presence. He's a big lad. He's a good option for City to have. Julia, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Do hope you are well and hope you've had a nice summer as well. JP says, next year, come to England. We'll watch a game together at the Etihad. That'll be very nice. I always say for anybody that gets given the opportunity to go and watch Manchester City, to go and do so. There's nothing like watching a competitive game of football in the own home of the football side. So if you're a Manchester City fan, get yourself down to the Etihad. You will need to more than likely be a member. So that's always worthwhile just bearing in mind. But yeah, get yourself down. It's a brilliant experience. Manchester's a very vibrant place to visit. Get to watch some cracking football on show. You know, you can make a weekend of it. Good stuff. It's good. Julie's had to charge her mobile phone on holiday in Sicily. I'd like to go to Sicily. How is Sicily? As both sides just having a drinks break. There's been an injury or something. Seems a bit of an odd time to have a drinks break. You know, 3 minutes before half time. Thought we'd had a drinks break. It'd have happened 20 minutes ago. Here we are. Must have been an injury. I must have missed something. Hot and crowded in... is that Taormina? Is that how you say that? Hot and crowded. It's very hot. What temperature are you looking at, Julia? Southern Italy, August. It's got to be like north of 30, I would have thought. Sure, it's very nice, though. Sure, some very nice temperatures. Get some of that delicious Italian food as well. Nice country, Italy. Been a couple of times. Always enjoy my trip to Italy. Alec, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Do hope you are well as well, my friend, as we're now on 60 likes. 40 likes away from 100. Any help towards that would be great. Here's Kovacic bursting forward for City. Doku thought about a shot. Drifts into the penalty area. Will have the shot! And it's just wide from Jeremy Doku. He wants the corner. He can't believe a corner hasn't been given. City are convinced it should have been a corner, so it must have taken some kind of deflection. Let's have a look. He just drags his shot a little bit. It should have been a corner. It just takes a slight deflection and goes wide. Not a huge deflection. I think it would have gone wide without the deflection. Weren't a million miles away, that, though, from Jeremy Doku. Yeah, don't forget, leave a thumbs up. 40 likes away from 100 likes. Don't forget to subscribe, and do check out today's video sponsor, SofaScore. Links and details there in the description. So... into the final minute of normal time here in the first half. City 0, United 0. City, I think, have still had the best opportunity of the game through McAtee hitting the post. Bobb's gone close. Rashford's gone close. Both had good opportunities. Very fine margins. Man City have looked sharper first 30 minutes. United have grown into the game in the last 15 minutes, and I think that's something to be wary of. And I think if I was City now, I'd start thinking at half-time, maybe 1 or 2 changes, and by the hour mark, I'd start making 2 or 3 more and trying to get some of the players some much-needed minutes in the legs, because a lot of the players have only just come back from holiday, and you've got a couple of players that are bidding to try and get into the City squad for the season, as United have a free kick sent forward. Mainu gets his foot onto it, wraps too much onto it, and out into the stands and out for a goal kick. Julia, love that. 32 degrees Celsius, looking at 89 degrees in Fahrenheit. Lovely stuff in the UK right now. Looking in Greater Manchester at the Mo. Around, I think it's 21, 22 degrees in Celsius. So you're looking at just north of 70 degrees in Fahrenheit. So fair bit warmer and nicer, I'm sure, in Sicily. JP, Premier League goals. I'm gonna go 31. There you go, 31 for Erling Haaland. Alec, I can imagine. I've got the commentary on, but it's turned right down low. I can't really hear it. I have it on in case I need to be quiet to listen to see if I've missed something and anything's happening. It's why I just have it on low. I can just turn it up if I want to. As we're into the first of 2 minutes added on, City just been a bit sloppy here with their distribution. So I think City will probably be quite happy to see half-time and come out unscathed and go again in the second half, because at the moment United are looking to try and get up ahead of steam. As we're now 38 likes away from 100 likes. Any help towards that would be great. So as the first minute ticks by, Harry Maguire just sends the ball back to goalkeeper Onana. Man City happy not to apply much of a press. Here's Martinez. Works the ball to Maguire. He plays a ball forward. And straight out of play for a throw into Manchester City. What you're starting to see is players that haven't been at international tournaments and players that got knocked out of international tournaments early and have returned back to training before everyone else are looking sharper and better. I think that bodes quite well for City, because Chelsea have got a lot of international players, so they might look a bit disjointed next weekend as well. But going forward, when you're taking on some of the teams and maybe expecting them to finish in the bottom half of the Premier League, like we've got a match against Ipswich Town, a lot of their players haven't been on international duty, so they'll be sharp, fresh, motivated. Could be quite difficult game. So that's my early thoughts, is what I've had here in the first half. A little jaded, not spectacular. The opportunities have been there, they've just not been taken by either side. As we do have the half-time whistle, so it's McAtee that goes closest, hitting the post for Manchester City. Rashford's gone close for Manchester United. Bobb's had a chance. City's youngsters have looked lively. Nico O'Reilly, James McAtee, Rico Lewis, Oscar Bobb all looked very good. Manchester United have started to grow into the game. Whilst it's 0-0, it's anybody's game, so plenty to think about and ponder about heading into the second half. As Alex says, I think I'm going to echo them thoughts as well. I think Manchester City as a whole, first 30 minutes looked better than United. United looked better in the final 15 minutes, but City have obviously looked better for a longer period of time for that first half. So I think City just about edge it, but as it is 0-0. So moving on to today's video sponsor, I'm going to have a look at all the latest analysis and statistics for this game. So do go and check out SofaScore. Links and details, they are in the description. Looking at the statistics for this game. At the moment, in terms of possession, City having more possession, 55% possession compared with 45% possession for Manchester United. Man United have had one big chance through Marcus Rashford. Man City's hitting the post didn't count as a big chance, but City have had more shots than United, 4 to Manchester United's 3. In terms of corners, City have had 3 corners compared with, surprisingly, United have not had any corners in this game. More passes for City, it's 266 passes compared with 219 for Manchester United. United have had more tackles though, 10 compared with 4. And as I said, Manchester City have gone closer through hitting the post from James McAtee in the first half. Marcus Rashford going closest for Manchester United. And just looking towards the bench for Manchester City and potential players you could see come on for the second half, I'd certainly start thinking about the likes of Kalvin Phillips and maybe Issa Kabore, the players that aren't maybe going to be given the opportunity in the City first team squad for the upcoming season to be given maybe 45 minutes here. And then your other players, your Akes, your Bernardos, your Kevin De Bruyne's, your Nunes's, your Savinhos. These have all had international football, only just come back from holiday, so I'd start thinking about maybe giving them players 20 or 30 minutes is what I would do, but I may be wrong. But as it is, tied in at 0-0 between Manchester United and Manchester City. Not too much to call between these two sides. City just about edging it, even on the player rating. So the score have got City at an average rating of 6.76 and Man United at 6.67. So just 0.09 separating Manchester City and Manchester United in this game. Thank you very much to Sabong. Much appreciated. Can I show you the game? No, I cannot due to copyright infringements. I am not a streaming platform that allows you to be able to watch games. I would get hit with a community strike, a copyright strike, because it's not me that's paying for the footage. And it's just detrimental to my channel. So, not happening. Blue, thanks for tuning in. How did you? Hope you are well. JPH says McAtee looking good. To me, McAtee, O'Reilly, Lewis, Oscar Bobb, 4 young players for City, all looking very good. 4 players I right now would be thinking about maybe starting for next Sunday's game against Chelsea. But 8 days is a long time in football. We will see what will happen. So, going to go through some half-time scores, because whilst the Premier League's not happening, all the other football in England has got underway now, and north of the border as well. So, Community Shield, 0-0 here between Manchester City and Manchester United in the Community Shield. Heading into the English Football League in the Championship, we've had quite a few full-time scores. In fact, all full-time scores. So, I think they're all being shown and broadcast live on Sky Sports Plus as part of Sky Sports' agreement to show more football in the English Football League. So, these are all full-time scores. Cardiff City 0, Sunderland 2. Hull City 1, Bristol City 1. Leeds 3, Portsmouth 3. Portsmouth looked like they'd won it right at the death with a 92nd minute penalty, but Aronson's grabbed a late equaliser for Leeds United. Middlesbrough 1, Swansea 0. Millwall 2, Watford 3. Oxford 2, Norwich City 0. Massive win that for Oxford in getting promoted last season into the Championship, picking up a solid 3 points as well at home against Norwich City. Queen's Park Rangers 1, West Bromwich Albion 3, and Stoke City 1, Coventry 0. Into League One, there's loads of games which are all late kickoffs. So you've got 5:30 p.m. GMT kickoffs. Birmingham City taking on Reading. Bristol Rovers taking on Northampton. Burton taking on Lincoln City. Crawley taking on Blackpool. Exeter taking on Rotherham. Leyton Orient taking on Bolton Wanderers. Peterborough taking on Huddersfield. Stevenage taking on Shrewsbury. Stockport County taking on Cambridge United. Wigan Athletic taking on Charlton Athletic. And Wrexham taking on Wycombe. Into League Two, half-time scores. AFC Wimbledon 3, Colchester 2, Barrow 1, Crewe 0, Cheltenham 2, Newport 2, Doncaster 1, Accrington Stanley 0, Fleetwood 1, Grimsby 0, Gillingham 1, Carlisle 0, Harrogate 0, Bromley 0, MK Dons 1, Bradford 2, Salford City 0, Port Vale 1, Tranmere Rovers 0, Notts County 0, and Walsall 1, Morecambe 0. Heading north of the border, you got some half-time scores as well for Rangers taking on Motherwell. I was going to say it's at Ibrox. They're not playing at Ibrox yet, so that's been played at Hampden Park. Currently half-time 2-1 Rangers against Motherwell. You've also got Ross County taking on Dundee United, which is currently 0-0. You've got Dundee taking on Hearts at 5:30 p.m. In the Scottish Championship, you've got Dunfermline Athletic 0, Falkirk 1 at half-time. All half-time scores these. Morton 0, Hamilton 0, and Raith Rovers 1, Partick Thistle 0. Scottish League 1, all half-time scores. Annan Athletic 0, Inverness Caledonian Thistle 0, Arbroath 0, Montrose 0, Dumbarton 1, Alloa Athletic 2, Kelty Arts 1, Stenhousemuir 0, and Queen of the South 0, Cove Rangers 0. And into the Scottish League 2, also all half-time scores. Clyde 0, Stranraer 0, East Fife 0, Edinburgh City 0, Peterhead 1, Forfar Athletic 0, Stirling Albion 0, Elgin City 1, and the Spartans 0, Bonnyrigg Rose 0. You also got a Scottish Women's Premier League game. Full-time score, Celtic women's side 9, Dundee United women's side 0. Which all I have to say to that is, ouch. You've also got a game taking place in the Olympics for the gold medal, I think. It is taking place at the Parc des Princes. You've got Brazil's women's side taking on the USA women's side. You've got any more games taking place? You've got National League games taking place today. I'll go through them scores in just 1 second. You've also got games in the Eredivisie as well. Feyenoord 1, Willem 0 in the 24th minute. You've got NEC taking on FC 20 at 5:45 p.m. BST. Almere City taking on AZ Alkmaar at 7 p.m. BST. And PSV Eindhoven taking on Valverdijk at 8 p.m. BST. You've got games happening in the National League North and the National League South, and you've also got games taking place in Portugal as well. You've got AVS 0, CD Nacional 0 in the 21st minute. You've got Casapia taking on Boa Vista at 6 p.m. BST, and FC Porto taking on Gil Vicente, which is taking place at 8:30 p.m. BST. Alex says, great test for our kids so far. I do agree. JPH says, we're missing a left-footed defender in defence. Could be Ake maybe into the second half with Gvardiol sent further forward. It says, Diaz looks a bit rusty. Bernardo Silva would like to see come on for the second half. And Smig, I'm going to second that. I love seeing City once more for the start of the season. So, guys, don't forget, leave a thumbs up. Do subscribe if you're new around here. And do go and check out today's video sponsor, which all them scores at halftime and my analysis was provided for by today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by SofaScore. Thank you very much, SofaScore, for sponsoring today's video. Do go and check them out. Links and details there in the description. Very quickly, I'll just run through the National League. So it's AFC Fylde 1, Solihull Moors 2. All half-time scores these. Aldershot 2, Forest Green 1. Altrincham 1, Woking 0, Boston 0, Rochdale 2, Dagenham and Redbridge 0, Wealdstone 0, Halifax 0, Barnet 0, Gateshead 3, Ebbsfleet 0, Maidenhead 0, Eastleigh 2, Oldham 2, Braintree 0, Southend 1, York 0, Tamworth 0, Sutton 0, and Yeovil 0, Hartlepool 0. So you're all up to date. So guys, first half-time entertainment of the season is brought to you by my partner channel, Mixid. Once more, do go and check him out. Links and details, they are in the description. He's been doing his 50 states of cocktail series that's been running on YouTube, so do go check it out. This is the Kansas City Ice Water. Sit back, relax, and enjoy, and I'll see you for the second half.
What's going on, guys? Mixid here, back again for another state cocktail. So this is state number 6, and it takes us to the state of Kansas. So welcome back to another cocktail series, continuing on with the journey from Florida. As you can see, this is probably back to back. I was going to say, we're definitely not filming back to back here. So with this cocktail with Kansas, it is the Kansas City Ice Water. So that is today's cocktail, the Kansas City Ice Water. So it's quite a simple one, a very refreshing one, and it's quite a modern one. Because it dates back to 1994. This one, as I think today is the perfect one, especially with the beautiful weather we're having over the pond in the UK. It's got some beautiful weather, beautiful summer's day. And the Kansas City Ice Water is very appealing. You see why it gets its name. When the very clear colour that it produces this cocktail, it looks like water but icy water. It's just absolutely refreshing. I can't wait to try it. And let's get straight into this cocktail. Enough waffling on ours. Let's get straight into it. So with the Kansas City Ice Water, what you want to do, guys, is get your cocktail shaker and put in 4 to 5 ice cubes. But so if you are new around here, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe to Mixid for more American cocktails like this. Which state should I do next? So a little bit of history of this one before we make the cocktail is, it gets its name from the KC metro area, so the Kansas City metro area, especially with the patrons at the Rye KC in Leawood, Kansas, which just can't seem to get enough of it. This is where the creation starts from. As it has turned 30 years old now, this creation. So it's quite a simple one to make, really. So the first ingredient of the tin is 30ml or 1 ounce of gin. I'm using the Botanist because I can't recommend it enough. It's a very classy gin. I know for an American audience that are watching this, you can't get it over there. I don't think you can anyway. Next into the tin is 30ml or 1 ounce of vodka. I'm using Ciroc. Next, half an ounce of 15ml of pressure squeeze lime juice. Next, 15ml or half an ounce of triple sec. I'm using Cointreau, so you can't beat it. It's nice and effective and straight to the point. Basically, Cointreau is what it says on the tin. It's a nice triple sec. Orange liqueur. And the last ingredient into the tin is 3 ounces or 90ml of lemon and lime soda. I'm using 7-Up. It's one of my favourites that I like to use. Just can't beat that sound, Kane, especially cracking open a nice ice cold drink. I'll put your head on and give it a nice hard shake, 8 to 10 seconds to get nice and chilled. And the trouble with soda, it likes to fire open, as you can see. Before straining into it, what you want to do is fill it with ice. Now, straight into your highball glass. Beautiful. The final thing to do now is to garnish it with the lime rind. Perfect. And there we go, my friends. 1 Kansas City ice water. So there we go, 1 Kansas City ice water. How does it taste? You know what? That is not half bad. That is not half bad at all. It's exactly how I imagine it. It's got to say, on a beautiful summer's day like today, a very warm day, that is very, very refreshing. I think the other thing I'd do is swap the lime juice. I think I'd go for the better version of the lime juice, so it's not acidic. That's the only thing that lets this drink down. It's a solid 8 out of 10, but it could be better. Citric acid dilution will be the better substitution. That is one I will leave in the recipe in the description below. Because I think that'd be better. Because it's not as acidic as the lime juice like that, which is what I'm feeling. But take nothing away from it. It's a very beautiful drink because it's very clear. I think it needs a little bit of tweaking and it could be a lot better that, but that is beautiful. That is the Kansas City ice water. What do you guys think of it? If you're from Kansas, do let me know in the comments below if you had this cocktail before. Because I want to hear from you guys. But which state should I do next for state number 7 in my US 50 state challenge? Do let me know in the comments below. But I've been Mixed. If you are new around here, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe to Mixed for more US state cocktails like this, and I will see you guys for the next state cocktail. But this, my friends, is the Kansas City ice water. Cheers. Have a beautiful day. So put your head on, and I'll give you a good hard shake, 8 to 10 seconds to get nice and chilled.
We love an outtake, because the second half, perfect timing that. Don't think I've ever timed it so perfectly ever. Here we are, ready for the second half. Players literally just come out, ready for the second half. So Andy says, come on City, let's dump these rags. And I love Kirby says, yeah, City is king. Thank you for tuning in. So, it doesn't look like that any changes have been made. Let me get official confirmation that there has been no changes. It surprises me not making any changes. I thought there might have been maybe 1 or 2, but no, it doesn't look like either side have made any changes as of yet. There we go. Anyway, here's City then, putting the pressing game back on, trying to put United under pressure. Oh, that's a good hit by Casemiro. And finds Diallo in space on the left-hand side, and Akanji does enough that City can find the interception and eventually goes out of play for a goal kick to Manchester City. So guys, don't forget, leave a thumbs up. And now 36 likes away from 100 likes. Don't forget to subscribe as well if you're new around here. And do go and check out today's video sponsor, SofaScore. Links and details there in the description. So Manchester City then. We are going to be attacking the West Stand in the second half, where the Manchester City supporters are, as Man City managed to pick up a free kick. Casemiro nudging into Nico O'Reilly. United felt like it was weak. Referee took his time and decided he'll give a free kick there, which Rico Lewis will take very quickly. Man City will look to play the ball forward. Here is Gvardiol now to Jeremy Doku. He comes forward. Finds Gvardiol to McAtee. It's good knocking around that by Manchester City. Here's Ederson to Ruben Dias now. To Eddie. It's good work this from Rico Lewis. He'll just work it out to the left-hand side. McAtee then. McAtee looks like he's going in a more central range for City, as opposed to the first half where you've seen him drift more and more to the left-hand side. Here's Ederson, just steps past Bruno Fernandes. Akanji plays a pass forward. Not the best of passes. Akanji's looked a bit rusty, hasn't he? Got to remember, a lot of these players just haven't featured that much, if at all, in pre-season. So this is their pre-season, so they are going to look rusty. And it's difficult on a big Wembley pitch. You know, you're not playing any football, and your first game coming back is straight in, playing on the big Wembley pitch. You know, your Doku's, your Ruben Dias's, your Manuel Akanji's, your Josko Gvardiol's, your Kovacic's have just not played much or at all. It's going to take a few weeks. Again, I just feel like this game's just coasting towards not much happening, and I just feel like the pace of the game suits Man United more than Man City right now. I want to see a little bit of injection of urgency. It's why I thought City would have made some changes. You inject that urgency into the team, it just lifts City up, and it just gives you them spells, them 10-minute spells. And them spells are what's going to decide this football match for me. That will be the fine margin. Obviously, being clinical, you've always got to be clinical taking on another Premier League team. But it's them fine margins and them little spells, capitalising on your opportunities. There was 3 good opportunities in the first half. 2 for City through James McAtee hitting the post and Oscar Bobb. Marcus Rashford had his big opportunity for Manchester United. All of the opportunities were fluffed, and I think there'll be 2 or 3 more opportunities here in the second half. And here could be one of them. Is Nico O'Reilly just couldn't take it in his stride. A heavy touch there. Although McAtee does really well, gets control, and then he takes a heavy touch, which Dalot can intercept for United, and they can come forward. And Ruben Dias steps forward, and he's going to have a free kick given against him for a challenge on Mason Mount. Not been too impressed with Mason Mount so far for United. I don't really see what he's offering, if I'm honest. I did always feel like he was a bit of an overhyped, overrated player. City have got some of their players out warming up, including Kalvin Phillips, and I can see Savinho warming up for City as well. There's 5 players out there warming up. I can see Ake's another. I think that's De Bruyne I can see out there. My eyesight's letting me down as to who the other one is. I think it's Bernardo Silva. Currently out warming up. Ball comes forward from United. Mason Mount. City want the offside flag. Akanji does anyway. Doesn't come, and that's played out of for a throw into Manchester City. Too much on that for Marcus Rashford to keep in, and Man City can get us back underway from the throw-in. Here is Nico O'Reilly. Slack passing between Doku and McAtee, and it just gives possession away. A bit sloppy that from City. Here's Kovacic to Haaland. Here's McAtee now. Finds Doku. He's got Haaland in front of him. Doku, heavy touch, tackled by Casemiro. It's getting a bit end-to-end, this. I don't know who that suits. It's certainly better than the pedestrian football being played and dictated by United. Maybe I'm happy for a bit of a ding-dong battle. You run the risk to going behind in this game through pushing to try and take the lead. Something's got to give. Here's Haaland. Finds Akanji. Kovacic crying for it. He wants it. Doesn't get the pass. Akanji not happy and says, I've not got any options. I have to go backwards. Dare I suggest Man City looking and acting a little frustrated. Ederson pings a ball over, looking for Rico Lewis. He does well to find his head onto that and flick it forward. Goes out of play eventually for a throw into United. Ederson's distribution hasn't been as slick as what normally is to be expected. Now, Ederson spent all pre-season with City, so there's no real reason for Ederson to be rusty. I get it if players have been at international tournaments and they've only been here a couple of weeks, but Ederson's been at City since the start of pre-season, so I'd expect him to be a bit sharper, as Bruno Fernandes looks like he might have beaten the offside trap, and he has a great effort on goal. And Bruno Fernandes was expecting the offside flag. It never came up, so he went to celebrate, and eventually the flag does go up, much to the relief of me and the other City fans there. Let's have a look at this. He was offside, thankfully. There we go. It's a good hit. A good goal. A good finish. Really good finish from Fernandes. Just turns Akanji, and it's a really good finish. Thankfully, it's offside, so it's not going to count. There's the warning sign. There's the danger for Manchester City. There is VAR. It's not going to take long for VAR to look at that. It's clearly offside. I don't know if the VAR's implemented that new technology. We'll soon find out when they put the lines up as to whether it's drawn lines or the automated technology that was used during the international tournaments, which seem to run very smoothly and decisions are made very quickly. And hold a very high accuracy, certainly a higher accuracy than them lines being drawn. As Rico Lewis takes a throw, and the United fans wanted a foul throw for that, not given. Akanji just works the ball back to Ederson. City must be difficult just playing into the sunshine as United press and force the issue on City, and Gvardiol does well in the end to get his toe onto that, and Doku's back helping to defend, and United wanted a free kick. Referee says no, play on, and that allows the counter-attack. And here's Nico O'Reilly bursting forward, finds Erling Haaland. Looked like he'd taken a heavy touch there, Haaland, and in the end it sits for James McAtee, and he drags his shot a fair bit wide in the end, but good slick counter-attack. Nico O'Reilly looking good, bursting forward there for Manchester City. Erling Haaland just took a heavier touch, and Harry Maguire was all over that before the rebound took it to McAtee to drag his effort wide in the end. Julia, yeah, close shave for City. The warning signs there, isn't it? Here is Andre Onana. Oh, she could be given away, and Kovacic does really well slack that by Casemiro and Maguire, and they have the pockets picked there, Man United. Here is Jeremy Doku. He goes down under a challenge. He wants a free kick. It would have been a free kick in a good area, that, for City, but referee says no, and United can actually think about coming forward on the counter-attack. Here's Rashford. It's not done too much at the moment, nearly on the hour mark here. Does find Diallo, though, into the penalty area. And he squares one across, and in the end, I think it's Nico O'Reilly makes the clearance there for City. A well-timed clearance as well. Back to Diallo, though. He's got support with Kobe Mainoo. Bruno Fernandes just puts a ball into the area, and Rico Lewis does the most sensible thing there and just heads it behind for a corner. If in doubt, you just put the ball out and you regroup. You really do. He just glances around his shoulder. He knows Rashford's behind him, so maybe he'd be thinking about just chesting that down for Ederson to take control, because there's not too much pace on the ball in, but he doesn't want to take any risks or do anything stupid or silly. So just heads it behind for a corner, but it does mean City have got some defending here to do from the set piece, and I'd hope that City, whilst doing more on their set piece coaches, working on trying to score from set pieces, will have been working hard on defending on them as well. We'll see. United's first corner whipped in and nearly on Maguire's head. In the end, cleared by City, but only as far as Mason Mount puts another ball in, looks for the head of Maguire, finds it. In the end, City can get that clear, and the offside flag comes up against Harry Maguire, and City will have a free kick. So, guys, don't forget, leave a thumbs up, do subscribe, and do check out today's video sponsor, SofaScore. Links and details, they are in the description. So, Manchester United that are going to twist first. They're going to make 4 changes here. Maybe not a surprise that United are the first to roll out the changes, because they're playing on Friday night. Let's have a look who they've got on Friday night. Man City not playing until Sunday, so they can maybe leave the players out for a little bit longer. Man United, I think, opening the Premier League season, against Fulham at home. So I think United will probably be thinking about that and saying on the hour mark we'll make our changes. And I don't think it'll be too long before City start to make them. Mixed, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Good afternoon to you. It's not been the greatest of games. City looked good first 30 minutes, sharper than United. United looked a bit rusty. United has started to grow into the game. And United have just had a goal disallowed for offside on Bruno Fernandes, as you see in the first of 4 changes being made here by Manchester United, and some fresh legs for City to think about. I'll just wait for official confirmation. I can see Garnacho has come on for United, one of the changes. I think McTominay's come on as well. So you see in Diallo, Mount, Mainoo and Maguire all come off for Manchester United. You're going to see Garnacho, McTominay, Pellistri and Collier come on. There are the changes then. Here's Nico O'Reilly for Manchester City. Oh, it's a lovely run from O'Reilly. He's looked so good. So good. And he wants Oscar Bobb just to stay with him to support when he eventually plays the pass. And Oscar Bobb had gone beyond him. So, not as much communication there. Or coming together. Oscar Bobb wants to see a little bit more pressing coming in from O'Reilly and McAtee. In the end, City take the foot off the gas on the press, and Manchester United will have the ball through their goalkeeper, Onana. Here's Martinez then to Evans. Excuse me. Onana's got nowhere to go. He's going to have to send it long. Can't find the flick on, but does get the drop of the shoulder from Garnacho, and Casemiro's pushed forward here, and United have got 3 forward as Bruno Fernandes has drifted out wide. Plays the pass in towards Garnacho, and Rico Lewis with him all the way. Makes the interception for City. Plays a pass down the line looking for Bobb. Finds Bobb. O'Reilly now back to Akanji. Here's Ederson. Does have Gvardiol ahead of him. He'll use Josko Gvardiol as well. He wants the support. He doesn't get the support, so he'll go back to the goalkeeper, Ederson. Here is Ruben Dias then. We're through the first hour of this game, 0-0. In this Manchester derby being played in North London. I do have to ask, why is this game being played at Wembley? two Manchester teams. There's no reason why this game couldn't be played up north, a little bit closer to home. And I get they want to pay for Wembley and they like the big occasions to be played at Wembley, but it's not really cost effective for the fans, and it's also not very environmental friendly asking all the fans to travel down with how unreliable the trains are. There'll be numerous coaches and cars travelling for a longer distance when maybe it's just not as necessary to do so. Dare I suggest maybe a bit closer to home for Man United fans than City fans as well. But here we are. Here is Jeremy Doku. Got nowhere to go, so I'll give the ball to Gvardiol instead. Here's McAtee to Doku. Oh, he takes on his man and he's in a bit of space and might fall nicely to McAtee. He turns, finds Rico Lewis. He's got nowhere to go. He's got very little support. In the end, tackled, but only as far as Gvardiol! Just wide from Josko Gvardiol. Going on to his weaker right foot. Reminds me of his effort that he had at the Bernabeu when he scored. Weaker right foot. What weaker right foot? Not a million miles away, that from Josko. Not a million miles away. Just doesn't quite have the bend. But it's not far. So guys, we're 34 likes away from 100 likes. Any help towards that would be great. Do subscribe as well if you're new around here. And do go and check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by SofaScore. Links and details are in the description. I think Man City are just preparing their first couple of changes. Some fresh legs coming on for Manchester City then. So we're going to see Nico O'Reilly. He's looked good, Nico O'Reilly. Looked really good. And you're going to see Matheus Nunes get some much-needed minutes coming on for Manchester City. And in the other change, you are going to see Man City's newest signing, Savinho, come on to make his debut for Jeremy Doku. So let's see what Savinho's all about. City's new signing from Estac Troyes, signed for somewhere between 30 and 40 million pounds. He comes on for Jeremy Doku. I think Savinho's gone over to the left wing, keeping Oscar Bobb on the right wing for City. So let's see what Savinho can do. He can play either flank. A very tricky winger, very direct, very good player. Needs time, of course. He'll want to impress. He'll be eager to impress. Got 27 minutes here to see what he can do. Got a goal for Brazil at the Copa America as well. Good stuff. Akanji rushed into his pass. Finds Rico Lewis. It looks good, Rico Lewis. You can just tell he's got that year or two of experience under his belt. He looks so much more comfortable. He doesn't look... not so much like a bull in a china shop, but he just looked like he wanted to make an impression when he first burst onto the scene, whereas now he looks much more composed. As it's a good ball, looking for Haaland up against Evans. He beats Evans for strength, and Haaland can keep City on the ball and in a good position. Here's Savinho with his first touch for City. Foot touches the ball like glue. He's wearing Riyad Mahrez's old number 25. He was renowned for his ball control and the ball sticking to his feet like glue, and it was good stuff from Savinho. In the end, City do give the ball away, and United can come forward here through Garnacho. Here is Fernandes, plays the ball into space, and McTominay tries to take the ball across, and City do very well to get back, and Matheus Nunes does really well there to not only get back, but also get City a goal kick as well off the leg of Scott McTominay. Good stuff from Nunes. He needs to grab his opportunity. Big second season for Matheus Nunes. I don't think he will leave City between now and the end of the season. Nunes is the reason why we don't really need to dip into the market right now, or certainly not as desperate to do so. So I think City are and ahhing about it rather than committing 100%, because you've got Nunes as that option. Here is Savinho for City. Cuts in. It's a good pass from Savinho, finds Nunes, and that'll be a corner for City. Good combination, that. Good work. Look at Savinho straight in towards the City fans. Let's hear some noise. And he's going to come over and take... I think he's going to take the corner here for City as well. See what he can do. Savinho then whips the ball in, looks for the head of Ruben Dias, finds it in the end. United can get bodies back though to force City back out of the penalty area. Here's Oscar Bobb, takes his man on to the byline, whips a ball in. It's deep. Savinho has a shot. A good block there from, I think it was Pellistri that's made the block there for Manchester United, as James McAtee's pass not the best. Kovacic goes down under a challenge, and that'll be a free kick for Manchester City. So it's been all about the young lads so far for City, and so far they've looked good. Here's Savinho, takes his man on and gets a ball across. It's not a bad ball, and it's cleared. Savinho's got a point to prove here as well for City. He's looking very lively. Here's Fernandes. Works the ball back to Collier. Onana now. Plays his pass out to Collier. Onana now. Tries to find his pass as well to beat the press of Matheus Nunes, and just clips Scott McTominay, and that's a free kick for Manchester United, and I think the first yellow card, and Matheus Nunes just pleading his innocence there, saying it's my first challenge, clipping McTominay. He goes into the book for it. A bit harsh. It weren't really, it was semi-cynical. It weren't an opportunity for United. They were just bursting forward, and I don't know. I just feel like, 20 yards further upfield there, and maybe you're looking at a yellow card for a professional foul. First challenge as well. I think that's very harsh from the referee, if I'm honest. But I don't think the yellow cards count towards the Premier League or anything, so don't really need to worry about it. I'm not too sure Matheus Nunes will be getting that many minutes for City for us to worry about if he's got a yellow card anyway. For a 5 yellow card ban. It's not the best from Savinho. He was looking for a pass out wide, couldn't find Oscar Bobb or James McAtee. Is too much on it, way too much on it, and out for a throw into Manchester United. Is Casemiro now for Manchester United. Just works the ball to Onana. Here is Pellistri. Finds Garnacho. Casemiro will just hook a ball forward. Finds Bruno Fernandes. He takes an early shot and straight into the arms of Ederson. I don't know if maybe Bruno Fernandes thought that he was offside and thought he'd just have a shot from range and go for glory rather than advance on the keeper, but he went way too early there. Anyway, he doesn't score, and here's City now coming forward menacingly. Savinho plays a pass into Nunes, and he's tackled, and rather ferocious tackle comes in from Martinez, the Argentinian, and out for a corner, and he takes a lot of Nunes, as he feels that from Martinez. Gets the ball. Bruno Fernandes very much onside up against Akanji. I'm surprised he didn't back himself. Akanji was advancing on him. He could have had a pass out across to Rashford to have used them, but he chooses not to as we're into the final 20 minutes of this game now. So Savinho to take this corner for Manchester City. What can the new signing for City do? Can he create? He nearly could. Not a bad corner at all. Akanji gets his head onto it and headed over the top of the crossbar. He says the deflection's coming from Evans and a corner given to City rather than a goal kick. I don't think Akanji was happy with Evans trying to get a goal kick from that, saying it was obvious that it was always going to be a corner. In the end, referee not fooled by it, and he says that it will be a corner for Manchester City. As Ruben Dias just feeling a little bit of pain, so maybe that's just something for City to think about for the final 20 minutes ahead of the upcoming season. Ruben Dias hasn't done that many minutes for City, so it is worthwhile thinking about. Savinho then puts another ball into the box. Can't find a City head. It's cleared. At least he's beaten the first man. It's an improvement. There's a City player down with a head injury here. Can't see who it is. Is it Josko Gvardiol? I think it's Gvardiol that's gone down. It is. In a bit of pain. So I wonder if Man City might choose to very soon start dipping into the bench once more. Just feeling a little bit of pain there. So guys, don't forget, leave a thumbs up. As we're now 33 likes away from 100 likes. Do subscribe as well if you're new around here. And do check out today's video sponsor. So for score links and details, they are in the description. Just got myself a nice cold can of Diet Coke to keep us refreshed, ready for the remainder of the second half. Can't help but feel like the atmosphere is a little bit flat. Again, just a neutral venue would have been fine for this game. Not saying that I've had it at Anfield, but, you know, a Goodison Park. Leeds were at home today, so it couldn't have been at Ellen Road. You know, Villa Park, St James's Park, somewhere. Here's McAtee just goes in and he's dispossessed. It's good work from City. They've just started to gain City, I think, grow into this game. I think it's just opening up the threat of United hitting us on the counter attack. I can see there being a goal in this game. I can see there just being a goal somewhere. Not sure where, but there'll be a goal in this. I don't think this will be decided on a penalty shootout. As I said, I don't think there's extra time. There isn't normally extra time in the Community Shield. It normally just goes straight to penalties. I think City lost to Arsenal last year on penalties, of course, as that just drifts out of play for a throw-in to Manchester United. Rico Lewis unlucky there. So 17 minutes remaining of this game. City once more got some players out warming up. I mean, if he's not giving minutes to Kabore and Phillips today, then they're just not trusted. And if they're not trusted, they shouldn't be in the first team squad. They shouldn't be getting registered for the Premier League, and that's not decided until the end of August 31st, when City have to make that decision on registering their squad for the Premier League and for the season and for the Champions League. So, Here is Onana for Manchester United. Just drifts that ball out, and that's a lovely touch from Savinho. He's got a good ball control, Savinho. Him and Nunes have looked pretty lively since coming on for City. I said it last season with Nunes. There's something there. I don't think he's a bad player at all. He just needs game time. He just needs regular minutes and starts. He's just going to struggle to get that. I don't think he's a player that really prospers on the odd opportunity here and there and getting the best out of him. And, you know, you've got to be one of them players that really excels at being able to do that. Nathan Ake was very good at that. Very good. You know, once I've got my opportunity and I've had that game that makes the difference, I'm going to make that position my own, and I'm going to showcase that I should be a regular starter. And, you know, if you're Matheus Nunes and you've signed for City and you've got, what, a good 3-4 years left of your contract, he's got to be looking at the City squad and thinking, oh, you've got an aging Kovacic. Kevin De Bruyne's contract's up next summer. There's every opportunity here that I could have lots of minutes coming up. I've got to take my opportunity. It's a good ball played across, and surely this is the opening goal. No. Garnacho plays a ball across to Rashford, and Rashford hits the post, and it goes wide. Should have been the opening goal. That was a better opportunity than McAtee. That was the best opportunity of the game, and bit of knife through butter. City just, the high line exposed with the tired legs. Good ball across, knife through butter. Rashford should be scoring from there. The United fans are celebrating behind the goal and he's fluffed his lines. He was always off balance. And it's the outside of the post, and Rashford's woes continue. So, goal kick then for City. Ederson's going to launch this. He's looking for Savinho. City not found too many ways of getting Haaland involved in this game. Normally I'm critical of City of such a thing, but I'm not going to be critical today of City for that, because this massive Wembley pitch and you're playing with the one striker is always going to be quite difficult. Particularly when you want to man mark a player out the game. You need more from your midfield. And second half, I've not seen enough of Man City's midfield for me. I'd like to see a little bit more. 14 minutes remaining then to decide this Community Shield match between City and United. Here is Pellistri coming forward for United. Collier gives the ball to Evans. He's getting a bit of support coming in from Scott McTominay. Not going to use him. Not at the mo anyway. He's going to go backwards to Collier. Is it Collier or Collier? Collier flows better off the tongue. There we are. Anyway, he doesn't play for City, so it doesn't matter. Julia says, come on, City, before it is too late. It's too late right now, isn't it? It's not too late right now, but there isn't long left. We're into the final 15 minutes. Big final 15 minutes. Can City make it count? I'd be chucking a couple of them fresh legs onto the pitch. See if they can make the difference. A hungry Kabore and Phillips would be two players I'd be chucking on, and I'd maybe be looking to try and get some minutes from a De Bruyne or something. I presume it's 5 sub-City are allowed rather than unlimited. But it is a glorified friendly, so who knows what the rules are. Here's Josko Gvardiol. Sends the ball long looking for Savinho. It looked offside. Is offside. So another minute ticks by. We're edging closer and closer to penalties here. 12 minutes remaining. Will it be blue or red? United just wasting a bit of time. Or maybe a couple of their players just to get their breath back. Johnny Evans to take this free kick from the offside of City. Just plays the pass across to Dalot. Here's United then coming forward. Rashford works it across to the right hand side, finds Garnacho. Good touch from Garnacho. It opens up nicely there for Garnacho, and a shot comes in. Is blocked from Kovacic, takes a sting off that, and that'll go out for a corner to Manchester United. So some more defending for City to do, and a chance for United to get a couple of the defenders forward. Obviously, Harry Maguire going off the big bonus for City that you take away a big aerial presence. Why is there a United fan that's just got his arse out? What's going on? United have just taken the corner. One of the fans has just come down to where the scoreboard is on the TV screen and just pulled down his shorts and shown his arse and started slapping it. Anyway, United nearly scored. If United had scored, then that'd have been a brilliant. It wouldn't have been brilliant for us, but it'd have been a brilliant clip to clip that. What's going on? It was a free header that for Rashford, just nods it down, and McTominay just couldn't sort his feet out. It was a real opportunity that for United, actually. City then make another change. Bernardo Silva is going to be the player that comes on, and James McAtee comes off. Good minutes that from McAtee. Good 80 minutes under his belt. Hit the post. Unfortunate not to find the opening goal of this game. Bernardo comes on. First opportunity that we've had there this pre-season to see Bernardo Silva. Oh, that's a lovely interception from Bernardo as well. He's like, I want that ball. I'm going forward. Haaland steaming off from Bernardo. Finds Savinho. He's cutting inside. He's got nowhere to go. Finds his pass, though. Opened up nicely for Rico Lewis. Here's Oscar Bobb. Can't find his pass to Bernardo, so he's going to have to go behind as just rebounded back to him. Here's Oscar Bobb once more then. Into the final 10 minutes. Don't forget, leave a thumbs up. 32 likes away from 100 likes. Do subscribe as well if you're new around here. And do check out today's video sponsor, SofaScore. Links and details there in the description, in the live chat. And you can also use the QR code on screen. Here's Nunes just pushed over, and that will be a free kick for Man City. in a good range to put a ball into the box here, right? If they've taken it short, never mind. I thought City might have taken the opportunity to get some players forward and put a cross into the box. It was right next to the touchline, and City don't take that opportunity. Here is Akanji then, gives the ball to Ruben Dias. Gvardiol now plays his pass to Nunes. Looks good here, Nunes. Andrew, good afternoon. Thanks for tuning in, my friend. Do hope you're well and had a nice summer. It's like your first day back at school, isn't it? Hope you had a nice summer. There's Garnacho into the penalty area. Has a shot! And there's the opening goal of the game. Garnacho takes 2 touches onto his left foot. Drags it across goal. Ederson beaten at the far post. Manchester United take the lead here at Wembley with 9 minutes remaining. Just look a little bit exposed on that left-hand side. A bit of a scramble, and they can't find the block, and because they can't find the block, I don't think Ederson sees it till late, but they find the back of the net through Garnacho, and not the best, that from City, if I'm honest. Not the best of defending. The United have threatened it a couple of times coming forward, to be fair. The gaps that have been exposed. And City have got 9 minutes here to try and find an equaliser and send this to penalties. Otherwise, they'll lose the Community Shield. And they'll lose bragging rights. And I did say I feel like this game's going to be decided by a goal. And later we got into the game, it looks like it's just going to be the single goal. And you fancy that might be that, if I'm honest. Jadon Sancho comes on. For any City fans coming on that maybe feel disheartened or any emotions running through the veins, as I was saying right at the beginning of the stream, head back to the beginning of the stream, you'll hear me say it. I say, not only is this a glorified friendly that will be referred to as a dinner plate trophy if Man City win and a major trophy if Man United win, I also said at the beginning of the stream that the last 4 Community Shield winners have all not gone on to win the Premier League, and the last 4 Community Shield losses have all come from Manchester City losing in the Community Shield. So, normally bodes through the loser of the Community Shield goes on to win the Premier League. However, as Julia says, it's a Manchester derby. You don't want to lose to Manchester United, so I'm not going to sit here and say, I'm not bothered. I am bothered. I'd be bothered if it was a pre-season friendly. You don't want to lose to your rivals. You really don't. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it, though, because it's a Community Shield. If you used to say to me, Man City win the Community Shield but lose next week against Chelsea, I'd be mortified by that. But if you used to say to me, City lose today but win next weekend against Chelsea, I'll have that every day of the week. As Andrew says, it's a pre-season exercise for City. Lack of intent, lack of creativity, but it's this Wembley pitch. The Wembley pitch is great at nothing. It teaches you nothing other than it's just an exhausting pitch to play on. As Bernardo Silva just had some afters there for Garnacho, and he goes into the book for it. Alex says disappointed. Yeah, as I said, it's the lack of intensity, lack of creativity. The big Wembley pitch takes it out, so it's not a fair reflection on. It's a massive pitch. The pitch isn't the same next week at Chelsea. It's a standard Premier League pitch, and this Wembley pitch is bigger than a standard Premier League pitch. So all you're preparing yourself for is mentally rather than an actual tactical reasoning. There's never classics at Wembley. There's never, goals galore and loads of created opportunities. It's an exhausting. I mean, look at the size of the pitch. It's huge. That's a lovely work from Nunes. Really lovely work from Nunes. He finds the pass, but United just make the interception, and United now are just going to try and sit a bit deeper. Rags think they've won the league. Let them think that they've won the league. They'll get the reality check when they hit the Premier League. I've not been impressed with the business that United have done so far. It doesn't smell of a team that's going to be threatening for the Premier League. Manchester United aren't the team that's causing me concern. In fact, Liverpool aren't causing me that much concern. Chelsea's causing me not much concern, nor are Tottenham Hotspur or Newcastle or Aston Villa. The team that causes me concern is Arsenal. They're the team that I think are going to compete with us for the Premier League trophy. Onana then's going to send this long. Let's see if City can maybe muster up another opportunity. Gvardiol does well. Gets a throw in there for City. JP, oh, that's what happens. Rodri's missing. Although we did lose the FA Cup final, Rodri did play. Are we a one-player team? No Rodri, no party. It's a good ball played across. Rico Lewis will do very well to keep that in. He can't keep it in, and that'll be a throw-in for Manchester United. United now just taking the time. 3 minutes remaining. No Issa Kabore, no Kalvin Phillips. Are clearly not trusted by City, so I don't expect them to be first-team players for the season. That's what I've learned today. I don't understand why this game's played at Wembley. I don't like the massive pitch. All the fans have got to travel down to Wembley for no particular reason whatsoever to head all the way back up north, a 400, 500 mile round trip for two teams that play in Manchester. In fact, why couldn't this game be played at the Etihad or at Old Trafford? City are the holders of the Premier League. It's more prestigious than, or holds more accolade than the FA Cup, so why can't the game be played at the Etihad and play at the home of the Premier League champions? The whole thing's just daft. Here's Oscar Bobb. Squares it across! Equaliser! It's Bernardo Silva. He's only been on the pitch a few minutes, and Man City have themselves the equaliser. So a good pullback, a good ball in, a good header from Bernardo Silva. And Manchester City, through that intensity, find the reply, and it looks like we may be heading for penalties. That'll cheer people up. Let's have a look. Good combination between Savinho and Oscar Bobb. It's a beautiful ball from Oscar Bobb. A really beautiful ball. And Pellistri slips. Can't deal with Bernardo Silva, and it's a bit of a free header for Bernardo. Lifetime contract. Another summer. Another season of keeping hold of Bernardo. He's not got long left on his contract, to be fair. He's got this season and next season, and that might be that for Bernardo Silva. But, you know, he loves the derby, doesn't he? He loves the goal. Incredibly passionate. Is it today's birthday? If it weren't today, it's yesterday. He's turned 30, the big 30. So, what a way for Bernardo Silva to celebrate. As Kevin De Bruyne is getting chucked on by City now. Couple of minutes remaining. Nathan Ake's been chucked on as well. So Oscar Bobb gets himself an assist. He goes off and KDB comes on. It's good work from Oscar Bobb. And Nathan Ake also coming on for Manchester City. I think it's Josko Gvardiol. I think I just saw 24 running across the pitch there going off for City. As we are into the 90th minute, so I imagine there'll be a few minutes added on here. Maybe 4 or 5 minutes. Maybe even more, actually. Couple of goals. We'll see. We'll see. Not too sure. Birthday. It's his birthday today. There you go. 5 minutes then's been added on. And yeah, you're right. Andrew Bobb's been playing well on our US pre-season tour. He's playing well now. And he may well be starting next weekend against Chelsea. So, 5 minutes. Is there a winner or is this heading to penalties? That is the questions. We're now 28 likes away from 100 likes. Don't forget any help towards that would be great. Do subscribe as well if you're new around here. And do check out today's video sponsor, SofaScore. Links and details, they are in the description. Here's United then coming forward. Garnacho puts the ball into the box. It's too deep. Fernandes should keep that in for United and does. Here's Jadon Sancho now to Fernandes. Going to put a ball into the box. Not the best. Akanji will deal with that. And maybe Man City might think about the counter-attack. Here's KDB. Can't find his pass to Erling Haaland. But Savinho can find Kevin De Bruyne once more. Here is De Bruyne coming forward now. He does have the option of both Haaland and Savinho. He gets himself a throw-in. Nick, you are very correct. Kevin De Bruyne is in. Come on for Oscar Bobb. Savinho will give that to Nathan Ake to take the throw-in. Man City in control here. Don't need to be doing anything too stupid. Don't be giving the ball away in any silly areas. United now, gone 1-0 ahead. Look like they were going to lift the Community Shield very soon. Conceded. And what they'll want to do now is just try and shore themselves up. Here is Kevin De Bruyne, though, trying to find a pass to Erling Haaland. And Haaland doesn't read it properly. And United now can come forward. They send one long ball forward dealt with by Nathan Ake. In the end, he's pushed over and he handballs it. And referee says it's a free kick after being shoved in the back. I'm not sure about that, if I'm honest. He's shoved to the ground and he kind of grabs the ball, but the ball kind of hits his hand at the same time. City really unhappy about that decision. A weak one, that from the linesman. Just shoved to the ground. Anyway, some defending to do here for City. Fernandes is going to come over and take for Manchester United. For handball from Nathan Ake. So, some defending to do. Bruno Fernandes to take. Doesn't beat the near post. Kovacic with an easy header away and City will push that defensive line forward. Kevin De Bruyne leads the march. Pellistri goes back to Onana. Onana sends this forward. Rico Lewis allows the bounce and Jadon Sancho can nearly get hold of the ball, but too much on it in the end and out for a throw-in to Manchester City then. 2 minutes remain here for Manchester City and Manchester United to try and find a winner. Here is Manuel Akanji for Manchester City. Not got any options, so he just goes back to Ederson. Ederson plays the ball to Nathan Ake. Alex says, hate pens. It was decided on penalties last season, the Community Shield. City ended up missing out to Arsenal. Here's Ederson. Gives the ball to Akanji. And a lovely pass from Akanji finds Kovacic. And a lovely dodge of a challenge from Casemiro on Kovacic. And City could have the final say here. Savinho plays the ball across to Kovacic. Here is Rico Lewis. Here's De Bruyne. He wants to put a ball in and he goes low and too close to the keeper. And Onana holds that safely in his arms. Not the best of balls in that from KDB. He gets that right. Savinho could have a tap in. Not quite got the bend. He goes with a low cross in, but it doesn't work. Unfortunately, Onana just seems happy to coast this by and maybe send this to penalties, as Onana's going to send this long. 30 seconds remaining then. Rico Lewis gets his foot to it. It's given away from United and De Bruyne makes the interception. So 20 seconds. Can City muster up one final opportunity? JP, Savinho got good ball control. Real good ball control. That's a lovely sidestep from Ederson. Gives himself a bit of confidence heading into the penalty shootout there as Rico Lewis comes forward and City just give the ball away. That's the 5 minutes up. And there's the final whistle. So it finishes level here. And rather than sharing the trophy, the two sides will decide the trophy via a penalty shootout. A good opportunity for me just to go through all of the statistics and everything for the game, because once we've had the conclusion of the penalty shootout, we can end the stream. If Man City don't win the Community Shield, if they do, we'll watch City lift the Community Shield. We'll see what direction it does go in. So just head into the City match. Onto the statistics. So Man City ended up having more possession, 56% possession compared with 44% possession for Manchester United. 9 shots for City, 8 for Manchester United. 1 save for Ederson to make, nothing for Onana. 2 big opportunities created for United, nothing for Manchester City, but a good header won by Bernardo Silva ensures that Man City do send this to a penalty shootout rather than losing the Community Shield there and then. 504 passes for City, bang on 400 passes for Manchester United. 10 tackles for City, 24 for Manchester United. 9 free kicks apiece. And City with 6 corners compared with 2 corners for Manchester United, with a couple of yellow cards for Manchester City. None for Manchester United, with City's 2 yellow cards going to the substitutes Matheus Nunes and Bernardo Silva. So it's goals from Garnacho for Manchester United, with them taking the lead in the final 10 minutes. And then with a couple of minutes remaining, Bernardo Silva finding the equaliser for Manchester City means this Community Shield game for the 2024-25 season will be decided by the penalty spot and the penalty shootout. So, just having a look at the team, who's going to be taking the penalties for City. You imagine Erling Haaland takes a penalty, so there's one. We'll be taking one. I'm going to presume that Bernardo Silva, normally takes him in a penalty shootout, will be taking another. I reckon Savinho's going to back himself, so that'd be another. I think Nunes is probably going to back himself, and Kevin De Bruyne is probably going to be my 5 picks for City. I think elsewhere from there, Kovacic maybe. Yeah, Kovacic. Akanji, of course, took the penalty that saw Switzerland with their only penalty miss at the European Championships in the penalty shootout against England. Ederson's a good shout. Ederson takes penalties as well. Ederson would be my pick to take the first. So the penalty kicks are going to be taken in front of the Manchester United end in the east end of Wembley. Manchester United are going to be going first. Going to be Bruno Fernandes. I'll just get the thingies up prepared for you guys. There we go. Back it there. Right, there we go. All sorted. So it's going to be Manchester United getting us underway for this penalty shootout first. It's going to be Bruno Fernandes up against Ederson. I think the first penalty is always the most important. You want to score and get off to a good start. It puts you in good stead. If you can get a big save, it's very much advantage. So come on, Eddie, up against Bruno Fernandes. And Bruno Fernandes sends Ederson the wrong way. So Manchester United up and rolling. That's a little bit of pressure just taken off Manchester United, and all pressure put onto Manchester City, taking the second penalty of the shootout. It's not in the corner from Fernandes, but I think he's just waiting for Ederson to move and look which direction he's going in, and then just strokes it in the other side. So that's the opening penalty sorted. Bernardo Silva, of course, a very big penalty miss for Bernardo Silva in the match against Real Madrid in the Champions League, but did showcase for Portugal during the European Championships that ice runs through his veins, and he's over that. He can score penalties. So can he do it now in the sky blue of Manchester City for the first time since Real Madrid? And it's saved from Bernardo Silva. It seems he just likes doing it for country and not for club, and that's a huge advantage for Manchester United, Onana makes the save. It's not in the corner. It's just a poor penalty. It's an awful penalty from Bernardo. It's the easiest of saves for Onana to make, and goal scorer for City to send us the penalty shootouts now put City under pressure here in this penalty shootout. Why is Erling Haaland not taking the opening penalty? You need to score your first penalty. It's the most important penalty to score. Anyway, Dalot takes for United, and if they score, they're in the ascendancy here, so we could really do with a save from Eddie. I thought he did. He gets a hand to it, and Dalot scores just about. Ederson grits his teeth, felt like he had it. That'd have been a big save. Goes the right way. It's not the best of penalties from Dalot. I think Ederson's going to be disappointed. He gets a hand to it. And United now are 2-0 up, and Man City just must score here. Must score. It's Kevin De Bruyne. Got to score here for Manchester City. Trying to play a bit of mind games there, Onana, with Kevin De Bruyne. He just steps up, huffs his cheeks, and sends Onana the wrong way. Manchester City up and rolling in this penalty shootout, and he's just clapping over to Ederson and says, come on, we need a save. We need something to work with. So you imagine it's going to be Ederson, Savinho, maybe Kovacic, maybe Nunes, we'll see. Garnacho comes over for Manchester United to take United's third, and we could kind of do with a save from Ederson. Garnacho, the goal scorer for Manchester United for their first goal in the game. He steps up and just sends Ederson the wrong way. And it's probably the best penalty that we've seen of the lot of the 5 that's been taken so far from Garnacho. It's in the corner. It's a good penalty. I think keeper goes the right way there. It's not getting near it. So 3-1 United lead in this penalty shootout, and continues that pressure onto Manchester City. Going back to that first penalty, you must score. Them first penalties are so important, as City's penalty taker Erling Haaland steps up now. Could really do with Erling Haaland ensuring that he does score. Up against Andre Onana. It's a big penalty, this. City have got to score it. Erling Haaland's got a big smile on his face. Onana's just taking a step across and is playing mind games. Erling Haaland just sends Onana the wrong way. Erling Haaland has a laugh about it. Like, Onana's just saying, go on, put the penalty over there. Both of them are smiling about it. He remains in his position. He says, where are you going to strike it? Haaland steps up and Onana dives the way he says he wanted Haaland to go, and Haaland just sends him the other way, and it's 3-2. Anyway, former City man Jadon Sancho up next for Manchester United. You feel like this is the do or die moment really for City. We could really do with Jadon Sancho missing or Ederson making the save here. Sancho up against Ederson. And it's saved! He tips it onto the post, Ederson, and Jadon Sancho's woes at Manchester United continue. Won't do his confidence any good at all. We needed a big save. Ederson tips it onto the inside of the post. He had to watch to see if it was going in the other side, because it was just... It was bending towards the other side, and as it is, just enough on it. Just enough. And... there we go. Right, Savinho wants to make a name for himself at City. He feels confident enough to step up here with the all-important penalty here. Can he bring City onto level terms and make it 3-3 on the spots, on the shootout from 4 penalties apiece? Savinho just sends Onana the wrong way. And it's technically his first goal for Manchester City there, but City back on level terms, and sudden death from here on out. In the bottom corner, it's a good penalty from Savinho. Really good penalty. So it's Casemiro then for Manchester United. One Brazilian to the other. Ederson is the man that steps in the way of Casemiro, and Manchester United trying to retake the lead here. As I said, sudden death. Casemiro up against Ederson. And Casemiro just sends Ederson the wrong way. So Manchester United have the advantage in this penalty shootout. It's a must-score situation for Manchester City now. Is it going to be Kovacic or is it going to be Nunes? Or will it be somebody else that wants to step up? It's Ederson! Oh, go on then, Eddie. Go on then. He's been here before. Scored a spot kick against Real Madrid in a Champions League quarter-final. Ederson, oh, it's a lovely penalty. He apologises to Onana. I don't think he likes doing it. Does it look disrespectful? He's a good penalty taker. He just sends Onana the wrong way. It's a good penalty. Guys, pressure and a half, isn't it? Sudden death. Goalkeeper, take the penalty. You're the fifth one in. Boom, send the keeper the wrong way. It's what you do. Right, McTominay up against Ederson. He gives him the eyes and McTominay tells him where he wants to go, but it's too good from McTominay. It had to be perfect and he just strokes it in, and once again, Man City under pressure. Ederson, I think, just gets his fingertips onto it. There's enough on it from McTominay, and now it's up to Matheus Nunes. I said before with Jadon Sancho that his woes continued. He struggled for game time at City. He needs that moment. Lacked a little bit of confidence. Here's Nunes. Here's something to give you the confidence to say, do you know what? High pressure situation, sudden death penalty, shootout, spot kick. I'm your man. I can do it. Nunes then, up against Onana. What can he do? Oh, it's a brilliant penalty from Nunes. It's a cracking penalty. Do you know, he's the only one that's brave enough to go up. Pep Guardiola's eyebrows are raised. He's like, what's he doing? It's a great penalty from Nunes. Oh, it's the best of the bunch. What a penalty from Matheus. Do you know what? Matheus Nunes. Absolutely fantastic. Argentinian Martinez up against the Brazilian Ederson. Couldn't make it up. What can Martinez do from this penalty? Come on, Eddie. What can he do? He just sends Ederson the wrong way, is what he can do. Martinez says, come on. Manchester United leads 6-5 on penalties now. More pressure onto Manchester City. I feel like McTominay and Martinez have given Ederson the eyes, and their eyes have told them where they want to take it. Martinez always looked like he wanted to go to his right-hand side, and it's perfect from Martinez. Keeper isn't saving that if he goes the right way. Right, it's City captain for this game, Ruben Dias, to take for Manchester City up against Onana. What can Ruben Dias do from this penalty spot kick for Manchester City? Oh, he just sends the keeper the wrong way. It's a good penalty from Ruben Dias. Just waits for the keeper to commit. He overcommits, if anything, there. Onana. Ruben Dias can't wait to just stroke it in the other side and sends this spot penalty shootout to 6-6. Just one penalty missed. Bernardo Silva for Manchester City and Jadon Sancho for Manchester United. And now it's Johnny Evans' turn up against Ederson. What can Johnny Evans do from this spot kick? I feel like he's going to go high. And he's just going to put his foot through it. It looks like the kind that's going to put his foot through it. Got all kinds of experience, Johnny Evans. Up against Ederson. And he skies it. I said he was going high. I said he was going high. And Manchester City now have the chance from this spot kick to win the Community Shield. It's still a glorified friendly. I'm just going to put that one out there. Ederson puts his thumbs up and says, who's got the chance now to win the Community Shield for Manchester City? Akanji, fresh from his heartbreak against England, the only player to miss a penalty in that penalty shootout between Switzerland and England. Mentally, he wants to say, I'm ready. I can take a penalty. I'm going to win the Community Shield for Man City, is what he's saying. And he does! Manuel Akanji, he's over that mental block. And Manchester City win the 2024-25 Community Shield. And it's Akanji with the spot kick that gives bragging rights to Manchester City for the upcoming season. It's what we love to see. That was a good penalty shootout. I enjoyed that. And now we get to watch Manchester City do what Manchester City like to do. Lifting trophies. No, it's not a major trophy. Yes, you can have your dinner on it tonight if you wanted to. But City got the job done. Good stuff from Manchester City. And it's things you absolutely do love to see. Good start to the season. Holds no implications for the season whatsoever. But it gives you bragging rights. I said before, when we were losing 1-0, you don't want to lose to your rivals. We've not lost. We've won the penalty shootout. And you know what? You know, psychologically, winning penalty shootouts helps. It might just be useful for Manchester City when it comes to a League Cup game or a Champions League game further down the line or an FA Cup game. You start to think, when was the last time I took a penalty? When did we last have a penalty shootout? And you think, yeah, managed to win the game. Really happy with that. Good stuff from Manchester City. Good show of character to go behind late on. Have enough resilience to find your equaliser. To win the penalty shootout after going behind in the penalty shootout as well. Good stuff from Manchester City. Really good stuff. So I wanted to thank each and every one of you guys for tuning in. Much appreciated. Thank you so much for watching. We'll just wait for the trophy lift for Manchester City and we'll end the live stream there. Remember, we will be back with another live stream for Manchester City's next game, which will be in the Premier League, where Manchester City will be taking on Chelsea on Sunday afternoon. Stamford Bridge. Should be a really good game of football. Jason, thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Jason's a good name. I like that name. Nico O'Reilly had a good game. Had a really good game. I want to see Nico O'Reilly doing or getting more game time and more starts for Manchester City. He impressed me. He looked good. He looked sharp. He looked composed and confident. Looked a bit rough and raw around the edges, but you know, I'm sure it's nothing that Pep Guardiola doesn't want to, you know, keep around the first team squad and allow him to develop and mature in his own time rather than just keep rushing him back. Julia, huge shout out to you. Thank you so much for the €2 donation. Much appreciated. Says, we won. Come on, City. Julia gets to relax in the beautiful sunshine in Sicily and Italy and gets to enjoy herself. Thank you so much, Julia, for the €2 donation. Much appreciated. Huge shout out to you. And it's great to have Julia and all the other regulars and everybody else that's new around here tuning in and enjoying what is a fantastic live watch-along. As I said, do keep your eyes peeled for more live watch-alongs throughout this season. Is he our backup defensive midfielder? We weren't really being used in defensive midfield today. I'd say it was more Kovacic being used in defensive midfield than O'Reilly. So I don't think he'd be used as our new defensive midfielder, if I'm being honest. Anyway, guys, we're 25 likes away from 100 likes. Any help towards that will be much appreciated. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new around here. Social media links, they're in the description. If you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, email also in the description too. If you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. And don't forget as well to go and check out today's video sponsor, which is brought to you by SofaScore. Links and details there in the description, also in the live chat. And also, you can use the QR code on screen. SofaScore have been keeping me up to date today with all the latest scores along with all the latest match information, statistics and analysis during this game as well. Do go and check it out. It is a free app to download, very highly rated, and anyone that does download SofaScore using my link in the description or the QR code on screen or the link as well in the live chat does help to support the future content created here on my channel. thank you so much to SofaScore for sponsoring this video. Thank you so much to everybody that's interacted with me today. Everybody that's left a thumbs up. McAtee as well for providing today's halftime entertainment. Much appreciated. It does call for a drink. As I said, the only thing we're waiting on now is Manchester City to lift the Community Shield, and then we will end the stream there. ITV, who are running the broadcast here in the UK, are currently just running through their advert, so I imagine it will be a couple more minutes before we do see Man City lift the trophy. And you know, it's been a while since Man City last won the Community Shield. Is it 5 years? 2009. When did Man City last win the Community Shield? Let's have a look. Is it 2019? CK, thanks for tuning in. I think you're spot on. Fantastic debut for Savinho. Comes on, makes his debut. Looks lively. Involved in the build-up to Man City's goal. He scores his penalty. It's good. Looking good. Let's have a look at when the Community Shield winners. I like that on Google. If you Google Community Shield, guys, you'll just see Man City's name floating above and you get fireworks going off. So, Google Community Shield, that's pretty cool. Right, so we lost the penalty shootout last year to Arsenal and lost 4-1 on penalties. Last four Community Shields Man City have been involved with, we lost against Leicester City 1-0, Liverpool 3-1, Arsenal 1-1 and lost on penalties. This year we've drawn and won on penalties. Last time City won the Community Shield was on penalties back in 2019 against Liverpool. So there you go. 5 years ago since we last won the Community Shield. And ironically, that was the year that, or the season that we went on to not win the Premier League. And all the times we've lost the Community Shield is the time when we've gone on to win the Premier League. So hopefully that's not a bad omen. I really hope it's not a bad omen to start the season. It's always good to... I think it's always good to start the season in winning your games and winning it for a penalty shootout against your arch nemesis and picking up your first trophy. Just helps, you know, get that monkey off your back. And yeah, all the players just think, you know what, yeah, I'm ready now for the season and ready for the match against Chelsea on Sunday. And we've come out of it injury free as well, so always good. Ian, thanks for tuning in. Finally, we have won the Community Shield. John, yeah, we do. I think I've taken a few things away from today's game. I think one of them is, for me, you need that option. And we need that Rodri back up. Issa Kabore on the bench today, not used by City. Wasn't expecting him to be used considering he's not spent pre-season with City. I think he'll be sold at some point this summer. But more importantly, Kalvin Phillips just not used today by City. Maybe not trusted by Pep Guardiola, and if he's not starting or featuring today, then he's not going to be starting or featuring against Chelsea next weekend, and it's just going to become a squad player, and it's pointless. So, yeah. So Manchester United have got to climb up the Wembley stairs to collect their runners-up medals. United players look disappointed. It's always quite difficult when you win. You lose a final and you've got to go up them stairs. Last thing you want to do as a player is walk up them stairs and receive your runners-up losers medal. Nadir, I'd take that away as well. Oscar Bobb, ready. Should be starting. James McAtee don't look far away. Give him another season and I think he could be ready as well. Certainly in 2 seasons if he sticks around that long. I think United players and maybe the fans are disappointed that they probably should have won the Community Shield. They took the lead late on, led the penalty shootout all the way through near enough, kept applying pressure onto City. They've done everything they can to try and win the Community Shield today and just come up short. Things you love to see. There we go. Nadir, the prestigious, world-renowned Community Shield. Get it in the trophy cabinet. And, you know, City will be taking it on their trophy tour. As Khaldoon Al-Mubarak, Manchester City's chairman, in attendance today. In the Royal Box. ready to congratulate the Manchester City players on winning the Community Shield. As we're now 79 likes, nearly very close to 80 likes. If you haven't left a thumbs up, please do. Just 21 likes to go. It was 7-6 on pens. I'll just change the title. There we go. Kalvin's a very nice guy, no doubt in it. I think he's a good player. He just needs a run of games. He needs a bit of confidence. He's clearly a confidence player, and I just don't think it's worked out for him at City, unfortunately. And the loan, unfortunately, to West Ham's not worked out. And you know, we'll see where he ends up next. I'm surprised some of the clubs towards the bottom of the Premier League aren't all over Kalvin Phillips. If not for anything else, then for some depth. As Manchester City players are going to make their triumphant walk up the steps at Wembley to receive their winners' medals and lift the Community Shield, as Pep Guardiola looks very animated. That Matheus Nunes penalty and the Pep Guardiola reaction was bloody brilliant. Really enjoyed that. It's been a good live watch on this. A really good live watch on. It's not been the best of games, but there's been obviously some entertainment towards the end, and you know, a couple of late goals and the penalty shootout, and you know, that guy flashing his bum as well on live television. It's been a pretty entertaining last 10 minutes of the game in normal time and the penalty shootout. So there we go. Nate, thanks for tuning in, much appreciated. John, what did I think of Savinho making his debut? Looked good. Ball control looked very good. I'm excited to see more of him. I liked that he's not scared to take his man on. He's got a lot of confidence. Very left foot orientated. So we'll see what he can offer. I'm looking forward to seeing more of him. Obviously, it's not enough seeing 15, 20 minutes of him, but I'd like to see more. Good touch from United to do a guard of honour for Manchester City. Jeremy Doku leading the way there for Manchester City. He wants his winners' medal. Now City just making their way up the steps. Hashtag help Rodri. We need a hashtag help Rodri. I'm hoping that it'll demonstrate today that we need them options. If City don't do any other business in this window other than sign that Rodri alternative, then I'm pretty happy with that. As we do with 80 likes, can we get to 90? Can we get into the nervous 90? That is the question. As Man United's guard of honour is done. Looked like every player applauded. Make them watch. I think Erik Ten Hag's very much like that. He likes, if you lose the final, to make them watch just so you can see how it feels, so you can use that as motivation for improvement. As Khaldoon exchanging some words there with, I think it was Soriano that's in the royal box with Khaldoon. As Man City just are going to collect their winners' medals. Gold ribbon on them as well. My box wanted me to press OK that I'm still active and watching. That's why I was just leaning forward there. Pep Guardiola gets his medal. Ederson gets his medal. Do you know what? I imagine would Omar not be there? Should be there, shouldn't he? Yeah, he's there. Yeah, he is there. I bet that hurts him. Savio has more trophies than Harry Kane. He's only played 10 minutes. He scored a penalty as well. That's just it. You know, surely it'd encourage you as a player to join Man City. You know, you think, what do you remember? You remember winning trophies. You want to be playing on a regular basis, yeah, but you also remember winning things and lifting trophies. And do you remember that time when I won this and I lifted this and here's me with the trophy and things? You want something that you can hold on to when your career comes to an end. Harry Kane didn't want his move to Man City. It would have been a guarantee of trophies. There we are. Kevin De Bruyne takes hold of the Community Shield and he's going to work his way to the middle of the Manchester City squad and he's going to lift the Community Shield. And a huge congratulations to Manchester City, the 2024-2025 Community Shield winners, drawing this game 1-1, winning 7-6 on penalties, with Manuel Akanji, the man to hit the winning penalty for Manchester City, and he's going to lift the shield there for everybody to enjoy. So, there we go, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I do hope everybody is safe and well. Thank you so much for everybody for interacting with me today. Remember, got daily Manchester City transfer updates for you guys to enjoy. Loads of City content to enjoy as well, including the build-up to the start of the Premier League season, where we'll have match previews, match reviews, and of course, live watch-alongs for you guys to enjoy as well, where we will be live for the Premier League opener next weekend, with Manchester City taking on Chelsea next Sunday. It's a 4:30 p.m. BST kickoff time, so I'll be live at 4 p.m. BST next weekend. I will see you guys for that. So thank you so much for tuning in. Take it easy, everybody. Have a great weekend. I have been JSGC. Peace. Ciao for now.